Carolina Hurricanes Game 1 Eastern Conference Final against Montreal tomorrow at the Lenovo Center, 8 o'clock. You can hear it right here on 99.9 The Fan. The wait is nearly over. Although there's probably some of us that the next 24 hours will feel as long as the previous 10 days. We're not there yet, but we're on the way. Light at the end of the tunnel. I'm Tim Donnelly, Dennis Cox producing the show. We're giving away tickets, so you need to be tuned in every hour to hear those key words. And we're starting the show in the same way we always do, the Big 3 at 3.
Number 1.
Tomorrow, Canes versus Montreal. By the way, Big 3 at 3, presented by Maynard Service Company. Heating, cooling, plumbing, electric, anything you have going on in your house needs fixing, needs checked up on. MaynardServices.com, MAYNOR Services.com. Teams putting their, or at least the Canes, putting their finishing touches on preparation. Montreal's probably got, 5 days worth of things to do that they're squeezing into 3 days. That's the nature of taking that series to 7. But the Carolina Hurricanes, it's the longest break between series in modern NHL history. By this point, you have to hope that you've done the work you need to do. You have to hope that you've done the recovery. You have to hope that you've sharpened the knife, as they call it. And now it's just about getting to game time. And the craziest part is you do everything right, and by all accounts they have, right? They've recovered the right way. They've kept their heads on straight. I saw this quote from it's Greg Wyshynski, ESPN, from Keandre Miller about the long run, right? The longest in over 100 years, all of that stuff between series. Keandre Miller said, "We've been trying to figure that out. Honestly, we're all kind of getting to the point where we don't know if we're bored or if we're just ready to get going again." And as I was reading that, I went, you know what? We're all kind of sitting around like, oh, I hope this, I hope that. I hope the second line stays hot. I hope the momentum is still there. I hope Freddie's seeing the puck just as well as he was before. And for us, we're fans. We're used to not knowing, right? We're used to not having control. It's part of being a fan is you're at the mercy of the players on your favorite team. Like, my mood tomorrow is going to be decided by a bunch of people that might not know I exist. That's fandom. But I do think maybe we haven't acknowledged or we haven't talked about it. I think some of the Canes are like, hey, I've done everything I could. I'm as ready as I can be. But that first period is still going to be them even going like, I hope our second line stays hot. I hope our first line figures out how to get in the scoring column a little bit more. I hope Freddie's seeing the puck as well. They also have been sitting around waiting for a long time and hoping that certain things continue and worried that certain things won't. It's a long break, and it's a long break compounding on a long break before last series. They've gone however many days it is with 8 games. It's a long time. I still think it is more of an advantage than people are giving it, simply because rest and health and everything are wildly important at this time of year in the NHL. At the time of year where everybody pretty much universally agrees nobody is 100% healthy, they get to be closer to 100% healthy due to the break. I think that's very important. We're going to get to some of our keys, things that the series could pivot on for the Carolina Hurricanes in about 10 minutes. Just kind of players that could help decide it. That's going to be at 3:15. And like I said, we are 1 day away. I'm going to say that all day today. We are 1 day away from actual hockey. Feels good to say. That is number 1 of the Big 3 at 3. Let's get to number 2.
Number 2.
The ACC baseball tournament is going on as we speak, and based on the scores earlier, the triangle is going to be carried by Carolina. Duke lost to Virginia 6-4. Not quite as crazy as a game as when Duke beat NC State yesterday, 21-12, but it It was just as early. It was a game that started at 9 a.m. And Duke had a lead. Virginia ended up coming back to win that one. It is, that's just a lot of weird baseball being played, and I'm sure that took a toll. And I'm sure there are those out there that will say, they used all their good hits in the first game. We highlighted, Jake Lambden and Caden Smith as two guys, I think combined, they had like 14 RBI yesterday. Something crazy. They went a combined 1 for 9 today. So same players, right? Just a little different outcome. In results that are going on as we speak, we have Stanford-Miami going on. Miami looking like they're going to win that one, although still plenty of baseball left. It's the bottom of the 6th. Miami leads 9-2 over Stanford. Notre Dame, Virginia Tech are next up, and then the late night game will be Pittsburgh-Wake Forest. And like I said, Carolina and a few other teams, they don't even get started till tomorrow. They've earned those buys all the way to Thursday, and that's what's going on at the ACC baseball tournament. That's number 2. How about we get to number 3?
Number 3.
NBA playoffs continued last night, and it was a I guess perhaps the NBA playoffs saw some of the chaos in the NHL playoffs. Some of those, take a 3-1 lead, lose 8-3. So some of this back and forth craziness, and said, "All right, yeah, that looks fun. We'll have some of that." The Knicks were down 22 in the fourth quarter and won in overtime. They were down 22 in the fourth quarter. That's borderline like, hey, we tried hard. Let's get our starters some rest. Be ready for game 2. And instead, they won the darn game. And when you take into account overtime, which they dominated overtime, they ended up winning by double figures. From down 22 in the fourth to winning by 11, 115-104 is an absolutely crazy turn of events. And in a similar fashion to what we've talked about with a lot of the craziness in the NHL postseason, I think now it's a real mental gut check time for the Cleveland Cavaliers. When you collapse like that, you don't want it to rattle your foundation, but there's a world where it rattles your foundation a little bit. Your confidence can dip. Maybe some finger pointing can happen if you don't have the best foundation there. And which leads me to my next kind of like, oh, of course, point for that one. You know who the Knicks just absolutely attacked the entire time during their comeback? James Harden. They decided that guy couldn't guard certain guys and just attacked James Harden over and over and over and over again, seeked out the mismatch over and over and over again, to the point where in the postgame, the coaching staff was like, it's no secret we attacked James Harden. Usually coaches are saying, well, we seeked out the best matchup for our team, and but they were like, we're not going to insult your intelligence. We were just abusing James Harden. He's been a part of some locker rooms that maybe weren't the healthiest, is all I'm saying. So if there was going to be some finger pointing, perhaps that's where it's going to live. Knicks get the 1-0 lead. To match in the Western side, the Western Conference, it was a Spurs 1-0 lead over the Thunder. We talked a bunch about Wembanyama yesterday, and that one. When you look at the schedule tonight, back to that side of things, it is Spurs, OKC. Speak about mental. OKC, since they've become this juggernaut, they don't get necessarily tested a ton, especially not like this year in the regular season, and they cruised through the first 2 rounds. If San Antonio can put them on their heels with a 2-0 lead, I'd be very interested to see what OKC is made of mentally there. Which, I mean, sometimes I tease my wife. If she's listening, she'll know exactly what I'm talking about. When we're watching any kind of game, and obviously we're watching a lot of hockey recently, if somebody's on like a cold streak, and I'm going, I just say something like, it'd be really nice to see, Svetch get a goal here or something like that. She's a therapist by trade. She'll go straight to like, well, what's going on with them mentally? And it's always, I'm like, well, he hurt his shoulder. But it's always, what's going on with him mentally? And we joke about it. In a lot of ways, I do think the postseason is, it's the old Yogi Berra-ism. It's 90% mental. The other half's physical. Like it's a test for both NHL and NBA as they're both ongoing and into the conference championships, conference finals. They are both very much a mental test. And I hope that the Canes stayed sharp mentally over their long break because they'll be tested in ways that I just described, the Cavs or the Thunder or whoever at some point in this Eastern Conference Finals. Montreal is going to come in with different energy. Have you seen the term? I was reading a lot of the previews today, Dennis. You seen the term Montreal Magic?
I've seen the term, yeah.
They're citing that for basically being wildly outplayed in 2 Game 7s and them winning anyway. They're going like it's the Montreal Magic, which always gets me nervous when you're playing against a team where the fan base starts believing in all like the team of destiny and all that.
Yeah, I was about to say that.
It's the cliches get playing, but if you say them enough, players start to believe it, and it just makes it so they never go away, right? They're always like, wait for it, just wait for the magic, it's coming. No matter how bad they're playing, they're still believing. So, Canes have to metaphorically like put out the fire, like Smokey Bear says. You got to like pour the water on it, stoke it a bunch, pour the water on it, stoke it a bunch. You got to make sure it's all the way out before you think Montreal's going anywhere because they got Montreal Magic, according to their followers. The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan. When we return, I will give you both the top things that the Canes-Montreal series could hinge on for the Carolina Hurricanes, and I will give you a key word that could get you in person to see one of those games between the Canes and Montreal. Stick around for all of that right here on 99.9.
Give me a mountain with lots to do. Something simple and true. All I need is sunshine and that cool, refreshing Mountain Dew. So give me my good friends, give me a dew.
Grab some ice-cold Mountain Dew today.
Mountain Dew.
Stop by Handy Hugo's for great deals on your favorite Mountain Dew products. Head to Handy Hugo's today.
Organize easy. Organize tough. Customize your work truck or van with upfit solutions from Van Products. Steel and aluminum shelving, toolboxes, data files, cabinets, drawers, conduit carriers, ladder racks, everything safe and secure. Everything built as unbreakable as you by Adrian Steel. Backed by the best warranty in the business. 3 years, 36,000 miles. Everything custom installed by Van Products so you know it's done right. From a single work rig to a fleet. Choose custom installed upfit solutions from Van Products.
This is what breaking news on WRAL sounds like.
Sky 5 captured the moments a high-speed chase ended in a crash.
From the moments that matter.
Let's take a look at those live pictures right now from Sky 5, and you can see
when seconds count.
Authorities say they are very concerned for the safety of the public. And
when your safety is the priority.
It's still an active scene. Take a look behind me.
And we begin at 6 with that breaking news. Hello and thanks for joining us. I'm Gerald Owens.
Watch WRAL News. Breaking news coverage you can count on.
When it comes to your roof, it's all about quality above with peace of mind below. Hi, this is Holly with RoofWorks. We're proud to be in our 20th year helping families and businesses keep the roof over their heads as economically as possible. We work on every type of roof, gutters, and skylights with quality repairs, maintenance, and replacements for your home, your business, and multifamily. We offer warranties with every new roof and financing options for homeowners, and we're now serving Southern Pines as well. Visit us to learn more at roofwerks.com.
Stahl with the defensive zone win. He draws it back. Carolina clears it out. And now here's a chance. In on the break. Ehlers shoots. He scores! It started with the draw. And then the other way. And Nikolai Ehlers buries it. And it's 4-1 Carolina. And this building is stunned silent.
The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan. We're going to talk about some of the pivot points, some of the things that could decide the Eastern Conference Finals for the Carolina Hurricanes. But before that, you have 45 minutes. This keyword I'm about to give you in our Canes playoff ticket giveaway will expire at 4 o'clock. So you have 45 minutes to text this hour's keyword, which is SKATE, SKATE. Text that to 919-860-5326. If you do that, you will gain this hour's entry into our Canes playoff ticket giveaway, and it could be the text that wins you a pair of tickets to see Game 2 in person in the Lenovo Center. Canes hosting the Canadiens. But the only way you can do it is if you text in, and you can do that for every hour. You have 3 more chances. We've been doing this all week. You have this hour, the 4 o'clock hour, the 5 o'clock hour, and then that's it. There are no more hours to text in keywords. So if you want one of the last chances you can possibly have, text SKATE, SKATE, no need for anything else, text SKATE to 919-860-5326. If you do that, you've done your job for the hour. And then tune in to find out what the keywords are for later hours. And why would that game be so exciting? Because it's a home Eastern Conference Finals hockey game, and that doesn't happen often. Okay, I know for the Canes, they've been there too the last handful of years, and you're back and you rolled here. This is still unbelievably high leverage, high intensity, high quality hockey that a ton of fan bases in the NHL would cut off pinkies just to have their team experience once. So with all of that high intensity, you have to ask yourself, what are the things that could win you the game? What are the things that could lose you the game? Well, on the matchup, let's hear from Rod Brindamore first, perhaps, before we give some of our keys to it. He was asked what he was able to learn, or was he able to learn more watching Montreal while not having his own series? Because obviously, from games 3 on for the it's crazy to say that, Montreal-Buffalo series, the Canes had already wrapped up Philly. Here's Rod's answer to that question.
I don't know that I looked at it any differently, but we got 7 games to look at, so we certainly got a good, not that we didn't already. I think at this point everybody knows, what you're about. You don't get this far without being a great team. So, we got a lot of looks at it. I don't know if that helps us or not. Maybe. I think we were prepared right away to play them. So, we'll see.
Let that be a reminder to everybody in our business. You can't know everything. Because you ask Rod Brindamore, and he's like, I don't know, maybe. And there's no way us radio and journalism and writers know more than Rod. So if he's like, yeah, we'll see, then, we can't step out here and be like 100% huge advantage. They got to watch Montreal. He's like, I don't know. It's a lesson there. So perhaps take what we're about to talk about with a heaping of salt. This is what we believe can be the Canes' pivots, right? The things that will win or lose them the game. What I believe that could win or lose the Canes a game or 2 in this series, and we all know it could change on a dime in a 7-game series. The first one I have written down, and Dennis, if you agree or disagree, have any to add, just jump in. The first one I have is basically the cop-out answer, winning the special team showdown. But I'm just to make it so I'm not put the puck in the net more than the other team, right? Winning the special team showdown, very basic.
Yeah.
I'm adding staying out of the box for the Canes.
Yeah.
You can win the special teams battle by abstaining from part of the special teams battle and just keeping it 5-on-5, or obviously if you're on the advantage, you'll take that. But making sure you stay out of the box becomes a way you can win the special teams battle.
I know Slavin said stay out of the box. That was one of his things, is stay out of the box. But I actually asked Rod this morning, or was it this afternoon? It was afternoon. Gosh,
all bleeds together.
It was. But just afternoon, I asked him, I said, what makes Montreal's power play so deadly, especially against Buffalo? He goes, well, it wasn't just against Buffalo. They've been great, for a long time. He goes, just that collection of talent of what they have. I mean, if you look at their top line, they're scoring on the power play. That's how they're getting their points. Slavkovsky, Cole Caulfield, that's how that line has been producing. It's on the power play. They were 36% against Buffalo. That's stupid good.
25% in the playoffs overall.
Yeah.
So it's not just then, but 36 will boost that. I think it does have some, it's all kind of connected, right? We're talking about how they can be outplayed and still win games. They're good on the power play. It all comes back to they've got some pretty good finishers. Right? If you, on a power play, you're going to get chances to score, and they've got some guys that can score. The way you get outplayed and still win a game is converting a higher percentage of your chances. If the opposing team gets way more chances, way more shots on goal, but you win the game, it means your finishers did what they were supposed to do. Which leads me to another pivot point, and again, it's very, very simple. Freddie's got to stay hot. Freddie's got to stay hot. It's something that they've leaned on a bunch in the first 2 rounds. It's covered up for a bunch in the first 2 rounds. But again, to avoid just being the most cliche person in the world, I will add when talking about Freddie, I do think there are going to be long sections of super stereotypical Canes goalie where there's going to be long stretches where you do not face many shots. And that is always going to be a challenge. Obviously, Freddie's been dealing with it very, very well. But staying locked in, right, it's less a rhythm thing and more of like, can you go 4 minutes without seeing much action and then stop a high danger chance, like, quickly. That's always going to be a part of their system. You want to minimize them, but Freddie needs to continue to do really, really well in those particular positions, and then on top of doing everything else that he had done really, really well through the first 2 rounds. And his experience hopefully will help with that. And then my last pivot point is, and it's a little more than just the top line's got to play like a top line. I think you ironically, we just talked about it with Montreal. Finish at a higher percentage, right? It can't just be like regression to the mean when Svetch's shooting percentage is like 4. It can't just be that your power play isn't generating looks. Like when you get the looks, you have to convert. And part of it is just the averages and staying the course and doing everything and making sure, not getting discouraged. But part of it is like, go be a goal scorer. Part of it is, hit your spots, right? Don't hit the goalie in the chest. Take the shots, right? And I know that I've been leading the charge at times for certain guys on the team to be more selfish. Take the shots when they're there. Work to get the looks and then reward yourself for them. It's really the one thing, and credit to the goalies that they've played. We talked about yesterday how they've played some guys that have done really, really well in net. But beat them, I guess might be the way to say it, and it needs to be your goal scorers. So it's not just the top line, but it's Stankoven, it's Ehlers. If it's going to be Shane Gostisbehere on a power play, there are guys that just for lack of a better term, put the puck in the net, which is super simple. Not easy, but simple. Which, Dennis, do you have anything else to add before I go with my big overall point?
Can't say I really can add too much.
I think for the Canes, it is like as I was putting these together, I wanted to be super like nuanced or think outside the box, right? I was racking my brain. I think it's kind of a simple but not easy thing for the Canes, right? Where it's all of the things that you just know to be true about hockey are very, very important. I don't know if they have to overcomplicate things. It's play Canes hockey. You're the better team, and I truly believe that. You're the better team. Some of the Montreal guys I know have the potential through the roof, but as they stand right now, I think the Canes, top to bottom, their roster is deeper. Their roster is more talented, and what you need to do is just take care of the fundamentals, occasionally get a star performance from one of your guys, and then take advantage of that and win the games. And I guess another pivot point might be like start hot just because of the break, and it would alleviate a lot of the unknown, but I've never heard a team say we're trying not to start hot, so I don't think that's really a point. That's just a fact of life. The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan. Don't forget the keyword for this hour, if you want to win tickets to see the Canes in the postseason, is skate. And today is your last day to gain entries into our Canes playoff ticket giveaway. So right now, before the top of the hour, text SKATE, S-K-A-T-E, to the phone number 919-860-5326 for your chance to win a pair of tickets to Game 2 of the Eastern Conference Final in Raleigh. Look forward to it. Hopefully you win. And I can just say that to all of you. I want all of you to win. I don't get to decide. We'll take a break. When we come back, it is time for the Dean's List. Find out who's earning a little extra praise around the college sports world. Stick around.
It's bow time. We know there's a lot of breakfast sandwiches out there, but only Bojangles has the legendary Cajun Filet Biscuit. Shake things up with a boldly seasoned chicken breast on a fluffy, made-from-scratch biscuit with bow rounds and your choice of drink. So when you're craving something bold, something different, something that takes breakfast to a whole new level, the Cajun Filet Biscuit is waiting for you, along with crispy bow rounds and a drink. Order in the app or at Bojangles today. It's bow time.
It's bow time. Time to satisfy your craving for Cajun with a Bojangles Cajun Filet Biscuit. Bojangles Cajun Filet Biscuits are served all day, every day. And with that biscuit, why not add Bo's Iced Coffee? That's right, Bo's Iced Coffee with sweet cream. Choose caramel or French vanilla. Bo's new Iced Coffee, a great way to sweeten your day. When you're hungry for flavor and value, it's Bo time.
This is a special alert to all Americans who own a vehicle with less than 200,000 miles with an auto warranty about to expire or with no warranty coverage at all. Due to a decline in the economy, CarShield is announcing a low-cost month-to-month vehicle protection plan that is now available to the public to save any driver out-of-pocket expenses on future auto repairs. Call now to find out how you can pay almost nothing for covered auto repairs. Yes, you heard that correctly. Pay almost nothing for covered auto repairs. An open phone line has been established for all drivers to call for a free quick quote. Call 800-292-4541 now. Drivers who are covered will not have to pay for covered repairs again. This protection plan is at an all-time low. Additionally, drivers who activate this vehicle protection today will also receive free roadside assistance, free towing, and car rental options at no additional cost. Call us for your free quick quote today. 800-292-4541. That's 800-292-4541. What do you have to lose? Call 800-292-4541. Again, 800-292-4541.
Jungle Cashword Scratch-Offs and Digital Instance games are here.
2 ways to play.
Yeah. Play Scratch-Offs like you do.
Scratch it.
Play Digital Instance on your phone.
2 ways to win.
Right. 2 ways to find letters and complete words. 2 ways to win up to $150,000.
That's a lot of crackers.
Jungle Cashword from the North Carolina Education Lottery. 2 ways to play, 2 ways to win instantly. Must be 18 to play. Approximate overall odds to win range from 1 in 3.79 to 3.90. Problem gambling helpline 877-718-5543.
If you've ever reached for a cheers when your favorite song comes on, you're ready to embrace the haze with Hazy Little Thing from Sierra Nevada. Hazy, citrusy, smooth, juicy but not sweet, hoppy but not bitter, America's best-selling hazy IPA for good reason. Hazy Little Thing, enjoy responsibly. The Drive with Tim Donnelly here on 99.9 The Fan. Vibes are high. Canes play tomorrow. Game 1 Eastern Conference Finals against Montreal. You can hear it right here on 99.9 The Fan.
By the way, our friends over at Mix 101.5, our sister station, they're banning playing any music from a Canadian artist. So no Alanis Morissette, no Celine Dion, no Nickelback, nothing.
No Drake?
Nope.
No
Sorry, he's
Bieber?
stealing lyrics from people anyway.
No Bieber?
Nope, no Biebs.
Drake stealing lyrics?
Yeah, you haven't seen this?
I don't. I am like embarrassingly out of pop culture.
That's fine.
Which sometimes I'm proud of, but sometimes it's like I feel like I'm 80 years old. But either way, I like the vibes. I like just, you're either for us or against us, and if you're against us, you're not getting on our airwaves. I like that. We should all have that kind of combatant.
I respect this.
Be yelling at Canadian geese.
That's okay.
Just anything with the Canadian on there. Just get out of here, honk. Talking trash in goose language. Never mind. The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan. There you go. Let's go ahead and jump into the Dean's List. The Dean's List is in session, where we give a little extra praise to those directly or indirectly related to the college sports world that we hold so near and dear here in the Triangle. We'll start with Justin Gainey, NC State men's basketball coach, because he's joining our show in about a half hour.
That's right, he is.
4 o'clock, he'll be right here on the Heaster Automotive Group hotline. So you make the Dean's List when you come chat with us. we're not above appearance brown-nosing, I guess, or sucking up. If you just show up, you go straight to the Dean's List. Let that be a lesson for all the coaches out there. But he makes the Dean's List. Additional Dean's List, I think we got to put like Carolina baseball, simply because State and Duke are losing at the ACC tournament, and Carolina doesn't even play till tomorrow. It's that double bye action, which you fight for all season in conference play, and when you get it, you really recognize how important it is. And I would say in baseball, it's even more important, right? We talk about the double bye all the time during college basketball season. Double bye in baseball, protecting your rotation, protecting your bullpen. These teams that are playing yesterday and today, they've got to, unload whatever reserves they have to win those games. And meanwhile, Carolina's just, sitting somewhere with a windbreaker on just their pitching arm, waiting for tomorrow. So, and Wake, who doesn't play till tonight, I guess they're also waiting as well. So throw them on the Dean's List. Dennis, do you have any Dean's Listers you would like to add to the list?
Well, you actually took my Justin Gainey because Justin Gainey is going to join us. So actually, I don't have it right now. I need to look and see if Lewisburg Community College, their softball team, is playing today. Because I know they won their first matchup yesterday. I got to look. They're in the NAIA. I'm sorry, the National Junior College Athletic Association Division II Women's College World Series. I got to look and see when their next game is.
More Dean's List, and if you find that out, you can go ahead and throw that in there. More Dean's List. This came from The Next Round on Twitter, which is a college sports show, I guess. Power 4 schools, so power conference schools, average conference win percentage. Yeah, it's one of those online stats that get real deep. Average conference win percentage among what they call the 5 most popular sports, which is football, men's and women's basketball, baseball, and softball. UCLA has a 750 win percentage, and they are tied with one other school for the highest win percentage in conference across those 5 sports in the country. Duke Blue Devils. So Duke has a 750, a 75% winning percentage combined in football, men's and women's basketball, baseball, and softball in conference. That is good for a tie for best in the entire country. Carolina looks to be about, I'm not going to count them all, looks to be about 20th, 561. Next up on the group there. State is also above 500, 510. Right about midway. I'll call them like 30th, something like that. But Duke is first, which is just, that whole program quality thing. Athletic directors get really jacked up for that. So credit to them, and they make the Dean's List for it.
By the way, Lewisburg plays tonight, 6:30.
What are they? The Lewisburg. I just said go Lewisburg?
Yeah,
go Lewisburg.
Go Lewisburg.
All right, there we go. How about this for a Dean's List? UNC, North Carolina, and the Savannah Bananas. So there was somebody in another market that was trying to figure out the finances of a Savannah Bananas appearance in one of their local stadiums. And Brian Murphy, WRAL Sports investigative reporter, responded with this. He said, I have UNC's contract with the Bananas, doesn't break down how the money is split, but reported Sunday, so Brian reported Sunday, that UNC made more than $1 million for the athletic department from back-to-back Bananas games at their football stadium.
I believe it.
$1 million for, here you go. You can use our stadium. It's a lot of gosh darn money. In a world where, straight finances, how much your athletics program can bring in cash, because that obviously enables you to spend more, and spending has become a real keeping up with the Joneses thing across college sports. Just taking 2 days in the offseason and making $1 million for letting some people dance and play baseball in your football stadium is insane.
You sell the place out.
$1 million.
You sell the place out. I'm wondering, again, how's that broken down in terms of ticket sales? Like, do the Bananas get a certain percentage? The school get a certain percentage? Does the school keep all the concessions? those kinds of things. You did it over 2 days. There's a lot that goes into it.
I'm sure the Bananas weren't leaving with their pockets empty. I'm sure everybody got paid if it's that much.
Oh, yeah.
But that's good business right there. Pretty soon you're just the more those numbers become public, the more you're going to see colleges like demanding the Bananas go to their football stadium.
Yeah.
Every offseason. No, in July you need to come here, says Kirby Smart to Athens, Georgia, like it's going to be a requirement. We will move the hedges. No, they won't.
No, they won't. No.
You can run into and dance in the hedges. More Dean's List here.
So I was just thinking like Clemson, the Bananas, they come running down the hill after touching the rock at Clemson, like something like that.
Oh, yeah. Like with doing TikTok dances down the hill.
Yeah.
After touching Howard's Rock. What TikTok dance can they do to enter Sandman at Lane Stadium in Blacksburg?
Right.
They're gonna make it all happen. And last one. This one's cool, and it's developing so darn quick. I'm putting women's flag football players on the Dean's List. The NCAA Committee on Access, Opportunity, and Impact voted at its spring meeting to recommend Division 1, 2, and 3 sponsor legislation to add a national collegiate flag football championship, meaning they are expecting by 2028, which will be the spring 2028, that is when they are aiming to and expecting to have an NCAA champion women's flag football. 23 states have now sanctioned girls flag football as a varsity sport in high school, which just happened, a handful of weeks ago here in North Carolina. Now they are setting it up to where if you're an elite high school girls flag football player, college coaches are going to be coming around looking to recruit you because a NCAA champion in that sport could be crowned as soon as and is expected, formally recommended to be crowned in the spring of 2028. You know what I think is next, Dennis? Because they have so much momentum right now.
Mm-hmm.
I think pretty soon high school boys flag football will be a sanctioned spring sport.
I could see that. Yeah, because it's basically just 7-on-7 like these kids are doing anyway, so might as well.
Yep, and with the girls doing it, you could do double headers. It could be very similar to like basketball season schedules.
Yeah.
Just flag football, boys and girls in the spring.
I mean, the infrastructure is already there.
And actually, why I would like it is the high school I went to first, which was a big sports school. Basically, you were required to not play unless you were like a super stud going to get recruited more in the spring sport.
Mm-hmm.
If you were like trying to play football, you're basically required to not play a spring sport because we had so many 7-on-7s and passing camps and everything else.
Interesting.
And this way, you could be like a 3-season athlete and letter in 3 seasons and everything. Meanwhile, you would still be doing like the football thing for the football coach in the spring. It's more serious, and I hate specialization.
I hate it.
But tackle football and flag football are borderline not even the same sport. They both have the same ball. That's about it. I just can't wait till you find the guy that's like the left tackle during fall football, but wants to play receiver during flag football, out there making it work. Get the big fella the opportunity downfield. He's too valuable to the line. We can't take him off in fall, but dude's got wheels. Let's give him a hitch route and go during the flag football season.
I was trying to think in high school, we didn't have many guys that were just only football. At least most guys in our school played 2 sports.
Yeah, for most of us, it was football, basketball, or wrestling in the winter, and then spring. The coaches really hinted at like, if you want to play for me, you gotta be. We were playing 7-on-7 a lot. Like, it wasn't like we weren't having practice after school.
I'm not gonna lie, I hate that.
That was my first high school. Second high school, I ran track. Different beast there. Much more tiring. Quarterback, flag football, you're not running around a lot. Track, got in better shape. Didn't enjoy it as much. The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan. That is the Dean's List. And don't forget, our first Dean's List member for today was Justin Gainey, NC State's new men's basketball coach, because he's going to be joining us at the top of the next hour. He'll be joining us at 4 o'clock, which means our football at 4 will get bumped up by about 15 minutes. When we return, what can the Panthers realistically still add to make their team better before training camp? Stick around. That's coming up next.
This Memorial Day weekend, make plans to come to the first annual Hot Tub and Sauna Expo, sponsored by Atlantic Spas and Billiards. Factory rebates and discounts for Hot Spring, Caldera, Saratoga, and Free Flow hot tubs. Huge savings on Tilo saunas and endless pool swim spas. The lowest prices of the year and an extra large selection of hot tubs, saunas, swim spas, and even cold plunges. The Hot Tub and Sauna Expo, located at 8721 Glenwood Avenue, Raleigh, 1 mile from RDU Airport on Highway 70. Relax, rejuvenate, and save.
Hi friends, this is Mark Pons from Chapel Hill Tire. If you're planning a summer road trip, car trouble is the last thing you want to deal with. Small issues can turn into big disruptions once you're on the road. Before you go, Chapel Hill Tire will give you a full bumper-to-bumper inspection to make sure your vehicle is ready for the heat and the miles ahead, so you can spend less time worrying about your car and more time enjoying the trip. Book your appointment today at chapelhilltire.com and drive happy.
Credit card interest rates are now over 29%, and most people are only making the minimum payment, so they're getting nowhere. Hey, it's Dennis Cox for Loan Pronto. But here's what many homeowners don't realize. Using the equity in your home, you can easily access hundreds of thousands in cash. With Loan Pronto's Rapid Equity Loan, you can pay off your credit cards, your existing HELOC, your car loans, or get money for that home improvement project. One client just got $100,000 approved and saved over $1,500 a month. And here's the best part. With Loan Pronto, you can do it all from your phone. With zero out-of-pocket, no hard credit pull up front, no appraisal, no long drawn-out bank process, and no touching your first mortgage. Rates are at near 3-year lows. Act now. Go to loanpronto.com. See how much you can get in about 60 seconds. Loan Pronto, 2,800 5-star Google reviews. Call 919-381-1760 or visit loanpronto.com. 919-381-1760, loanpronto.com. Equal housing lender, NMLS 1661781, NMLSconsumeraccess.org.
If you think you or someone close to you is having a stroke, we have 2 words for you. Be fast. B for balance, E for eyes, F is in face, A for arms, S for speech, T for time to call 911. Look for changes in balance, vision, or speech, weakness in one arm, a drooping face. Learn the signs at wakemed.org/stroke, because every second counts.
Young the snap, has time, throws to Tremble, makes the catch at the 35, stiff arm 40, has room, there goes Tommy, down the right sideline across midfield, he's got the 30, the 20, Tommy Tremble with the thunder, all the way to the 16-yard line.
The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan. Dennis, do I sense a little like defending the player with that highlight?
No, I was. It's a tease because of where I know you're going to go with this segment.
We will get to that in a second. You do have 15 more minutes to text in the keyword skate. 15. I'm reminding you a lot this hour, but it's because you only have 3 more keywords to potentially win Canes playoff tickets, Game 2 Eastern Conference Finals tickets. If you want to win those, I want you to maximize your chances. So right now, text in skate if you haven't done so already, SKATE to 919-860-5326. If you do that before 4 o'clock, you will gain this hour's entry into our Canes playoff ticket giveaway. SKATE. I said this yesterday. I'm a competitive person. What was it? Monday, 5 o'clock was our highest of the day. Yesterday, 5 o'clock, bested that by a little bit. I want the early hours to show out now. So if you're somebody that listens to the show in the 3 or 4 o'clock hour, pass it around to your friends. Send it to a group chat. Let everybody know that by 4 o'clock, if you text SKATE to 919-860-5326, you will gain an entry into potentially winning Canes playoff tickets.
Yeah, we need to best yesterday's 3 o'clock hour.
Okay, I like that.
We need to do
We've
that.
set the bar. Go do it. Put it in a group chat. Let your friends know. And also, it doesn't have to be completely selfless. It could be a little selfish.
Yeah.
Right? Tell people that, in other words, wouldn't know the key word for this hour and say, I will tell you, but If you win, it's a pair of tickets. I have to be the one sitting next to you.
Yeah.
And there you go, right? They get to take whoever they want. They'll owe you.
We get to go.
Yeah, exactly. If you that's how you phrase it. If you text in skate to 919-860-5326 before 4 o'clock, we get to go to game 2. That's how you phrase it.
Exactly.
No lies. They could take anyone they want, technically, but you'll have already put in their brain. It's an inception deal that you guys are going to go and have the good time. So send it out there. We want to break records. It's all about breaking records. Now, the reason why a Tommy Tremble clip played, a highlight played coming out of break, is because ESPN.com is ramping up their, I would say they're like, right on track with their offseason NFL talk. And with a slower time, OTAs are going on for some teams. They're to the point where they know the free agency conversation isn't going to go on forever, so they're going to milk it for all it's worth. They put out the article of, the best remaining free agents and their perfect landing spots. And as I always do when those articles come out, I can't help myself, click it, read the whole thing. The Panthers were matched with Jonnu Smith, the tight end who I think most remember fondly from his time with Miami, and less fondly maybe in Pittsburgh. It's an interesting deal, okay? Jonnu Smith is a tight end. He is a pass-catching tight end, much more so than a blocking tight end. And that seems to be one of the spots that Panthers fans or Panthers analysts think they didn't do enough to improve this offseason. Their main characters in the tight end room right now, Tommy Tremble, who you just heard, Jatavian Sanders, who was a early 4th-round pick a few years ago, really an interesting athlete, but hasn't put it together at the NFL level. Mitchell Evans is statistically someone that like the advanced analytics really like, but he's a big dude, blocker, gargantuan human to walk by. And the question is, can you really improve that tight end room by adding, I don't want to disrespect him, but a Jonnu Smith? Like by adding a veteran that's still available, or like how can you improve that tight end room if you think you do, if you think you need to? I think my answer is it probably doesn't improve that much outside of depth. Obviously, if injuries happen, you're going to wish you had more, but that's every position. I'm not sure you do. I think right now, if you're not going out and getting a true 3-down difference-making tight end, of which there aren't that many, you're kind of doing the Moneyball thing and trying to replace it in the aggregate, where if you want a slim down, bump them out, stretch the seam guy, you're looking Sanders. If you want an extra big body on a blocking down, you put in Mitchell Evans. If you need some combo of both, Tommy Tremble I think has been good enough. Not Pro Bowler, but definitely good enough to play when healthy. I don't think tight end's that spot. I did write down 2 places that I still think they can add and will actually like improve their team. And you could argue they are mirrors of each other. I think they could still add a veteran, cheap off-ball linebacker. Some call it a bit of like Trevor Wallace insurance. Devin Lloyd is obviously going to be a main character, and if anything happens to him, you're going to take a hit. But next to Lloyd, I think there will be times where you just want high floor. And because it is seen as a non-premium position, and if you're watching on YouTube, you see the finger quotes, I still think there's going to be some that are available later on. Remember when they added Christian Roseboom last year? It was after the Josie Jewell late last-second decision, right?
No, they signed him early in the offseason.
Oh, that was Chairless who they added late.
He was with the team, kind of not with it, and then kind of brought back. Yeah.
But, even so, Roseboom was not an expensive free agent when they did sign him.
Oh, it was like just over $1 million.
So there's those style of players out there if you feel you need him at this point. If you're looking for like an edge rusher at this point, you're just not going to find him. But off-ball backers, I think you can find guys with experience that maybe have a higher floor than some of the young guys are going to be depending on. And then the other one is, and I would actually be surprised if they don't add somebody unless they're really in love with A.J. Dillon and what he's showing them in their off-season workouts, is potentially a running back. Again, non-premium position, somebody who there's usually a few kicking around looking for jobs. I would not be surprised if they had a running back. And then, it's one of those deals that hopefully you sign them and they get to be a mascot, right? They get to just be in the running back room passing along wisdom, because that would mean that Chuba Hubbard and Jonathan Brooks are not only healthy, but healthy and playing well. Meanwhile, if one of those guys who, Chuba Hubbard was not himself when he was a little banged up last year. Jonathan Brooks, we don't even know what himself looks like at the NFL level. If one of those guys get banged up, you have somebody that's a little bit more trustworthy than having to rush in Trevor Etienne to a big role. Or, and again, I will say this, if A.J. Dillon is really impressing in off-season workouts, they may not even need that because he can kind of fill that role. The only issue I have with A.J. Dillon, it's not, the talent level or whatever. He hasn't really done it since 2022 with Green Bay. And that's just a long time for a running back to kind of go dormant and then show up and have any kind of a role.
Yeah, he missed all of 2024 with an injury. He only played 7 games this past season.
So,
talking about A.J. Dillon.
So if you get A.J. Dillon of 2023 between now and training camp, I think that's a good move. Coming off some more productive seasons, coming off something where there's maybe the team fell out of love with your explosiveness or whatever, and you're still available. I think that is a little bit more of an option. Ironically, kind of Rico Dowdle-like, but I think even maybe a little bit cheaper than that is still somebody that you can build there. But other than that, we've talked a bunch about free safety. If the right guy is there, maybe. I just don't know how many great coverage safeties appear at this point in the offseason. I think you could, if you wanted to, pick up, interior defensive line based on the Turk Wharton injury. But actually, I'll give you this one, Dennis. I didn't get to it in Dean's List because we ran out of time.
Okay.
I had former Duke defensive tackle Aaron Hall because, and really, I don't even know if this is part of it, but his publicist. I don't know if I've ever seen, and I agree with some of it, I'm excited for him, but I don't know if I've ever seen an undrafted free agent interior defensive lineman have as much positive press at this point in the calendar as I've seen for Aaron Hall. And that goes actually back before the Turk Wharton neck surgery reveal, but definitely after it. He's really getting some positive press. So if you really like him, I don't even know if you need to go interior defensive line, even with the Turk Wharton injury / unknown timeline for the Panthers. So really, I don't think you improve a ton for tight end unless you're making some splash trade for a dude, which I wouldn't recommend. And I think the only 2 spots that are realistic to have somebody out there that can improve you at this point in time are off-ball backer and running back. Dennis, what do you think about that?
I'm with you in regards to off-ball backer because you're just essentially replacing Devin Lloyd. I'm sorry, you're replacing Christian Roseman with Devin Lloyd, but after that, it's essentially the same group as what you're doing. So, you look at off-ball linebackers that are currently available. Do you want to go after Logan Wilson, Matt Milano, some of these older guys? I know some guys may have been signed already, but it's just it's a little bit more slim pickings. Bobby Wagner. Do you want to go? I wouldn't hate it.
I bet you he's more expensive than I want to spend, but if you could get Bobby Wagner, I'd take Bobby Wagner.
He's about to be 36 years old, but he still gets it done. Do you use him as a 2-down linebacker? I don't hate the idea. Levante David is out there as well. It's just there's some different options that you could possibly go with, but you always can run it back with a guy like Chris Barnes that you had on the team last year, who was a special teamer and has started some games in his NFL career previously with Green Bay. You could always run it back there as well, and it's not that expensive.
That's kind of the threshold there. I think, and no disrespect to Chris Barnes, I think if you can get somebody who you view as, a tier or 2 above Chris Barnes for a relatively cheap price, I think you go with it. If not, I don't know if he improves your off-ball backer core a ton based on what you have. Matt Milano's interesting. I know he's dealt with some injury stuff, but if he's out there and he wants to play and he's a free agent, that's one. Bobby Wagner's probably a pipe dream, but it's a position I think they can improve if they feel they need to. The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan. Don't forget the keyword SKATE, S-K-A-T-E. Text it to 919-860-5326. That text, just the keyword SKATE, could end up being the text that wins you tickets, a pair of tickets to Game 2 of the Eastern Conference Finals in Raleigh, Canes, Montreal. Again, the keyword skate. The number to text 919-860-5326.
By the way, we surpassed yesterday's 3 o'clock hour
Let's
entries,
go.
baby. Let's go.
Bury it now.
Let's go.
Go make it an unconquerable record now. And also be ready to set the same record in the 4 o'clock hour. Because we'll be back with the 4 o'clock hour, including starting with our conversation with Justin Gainey, NC State men's basketball coach. Stick around.
Life's great stories are built on yes and. Yes to the big game and the private suite. Yes to the beach and sailing offshore. Yes to traveling the country and exploring new ones. With the new Millionaire for Life from the North Carolina Education Lottery, you can say yes to $1 million now and every year for a lifetime. Millionaire for Life. Winning is just the beginning. Drawing 7 days a week. Must be 18 to play. Approximate overall odds of winning are 1 in 8.47. Problem gambling helpline 877-718-5543.
Adam Gold in studio with my friend Ryan Monsine from the Aluminum Company of North Carolina. Because you guys do everything for the exterior of your home, these things can add up. And there are a lot of people who think, I can't afford this. How can the Aluminum Company make it easier?
Yeah, well, Adam, we have plans that are 12 months, 0 interest, and 0 payments for 12 months, which make it super affordable for people to do anything on their home, whether it's windows, siding, doors, roofing, gutters, any kind of exterior home improvement. The Aluminum Company has financing plans that can fit in your budget and make it easy.
So wait a second. I can get everything done, no interest, and no payments for 12 months?
Yeah, and you get a lifetime warranty once the project's done.
I get a lifetime warranty once the project is done?
Yes, sir.
What about my down payment?
No down payment, no
What?
deposit.
No down payment, no deposit.
No payment until the project's done.
No payment till the project's done.
Exactly.
Where do I sign up? Aluminum Company of North Carolina, aluminumcompany.com.
When sleep isn't working, everything feels harder. Your health, your patience, your focus, even your relationships. I'm Megan Giggling with Parkway Sleep Health Centers. Too often, people are told to wait months or even years just to talk to a sleep specialist, but untreated sleep problems don't wait. At Parkway, care begins within weeks with home sleep studies and fast, coordinated support so people can move forward instead of staying stuck. Better sleep changes everything.
Parkway Sleep, your fastest path to better sleep. Start today at parkwaysleep.com. Sound sleep, sound health.
I'm attorney Brian Ritchie. Big truck accidents can cause life-changing injuries, and life-changing injuries deserve life-changing money. I know big truck wrecks, and I know how to fight those big insurance companies. If you've been hurt by a big truck, contact us at ritchielaw.com. I'm on top of it.
Broadcasting live from the Eagle Leasing Storage Studio. WCMC HD1 Holly Springs. 99.9 The Fan, the Triangle Sports leader.
I'm WRAL meteorologist Elizabeth Gardner. Another hot one out there. We're headed for the 4th day in a row with a potential record high, looking at 96 this afternoon, which would tie the previous record. Lots of sunshine for today and clear tonight with a low of 70. Tomorrow we'll see increasing clouds. It's not quite as hot at 91. Expect afternoon and evening thunderstorms, and this kicks off our wetter pattern that lasts all the way through the holiday weekend.
4 o'clock check of your money. Dow Jones up 649 points to 50,013.
The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan. We are expecting on the phone lines momentarily the Heaster Automotive Group hotline, Justin Gainey, NC State head men's basketball coach, as he makes his way through his first offseason as a head coach. Got to be a lot going on there. Speaking of coaches in the area, we will also be talking with, later this hour, about 45 minutes from now, Stephen Brooks, who is the head coach of the Carolina Chaos of the PLL. That's obviously we're talking lacrosse, Carolina Chaos. So we got a lot of coaches coming your way today. We're going to get a lot of our non-hockey talk taken care of today. Put a nice bow on it because tomorrow, and I believe we've planned it out that we will be out at the Lenovo Center tomorrow, kind of regardless. If the weather is nice, we're going to be outside with the fans. We'll be on the plaza. We'll be hanging out. We'll be taking first goal scorer predictions, doing all the same fun stuff that we usually do when we visit Canes games. But if it is, as some weather might predict, torrential downpours or thundering or anything along those lines, we have a couple different options of taking our show inside, so we can still give you the vibe, the atmosphere from the building where it's all going to happen, be in the room where it happens, the very big room where it happens for the Carolina Hurricanes as they host Montreal tomorrow in Game 1 of the Eastern Conference Finals. If you aren't as fortunate as we are, meaning you won't be able to be there, boots on the ground, you can still listen to 99.9 The Fan. Matter of fact, even if you're watching the game on television, if you want to hear Mike Maniscalco, Trip Tracy, the crew that has taken you the entirety, right, the length of this journey of this year's Canes team, the only place you can hear their broadcast is right here on 99.9 The Fan. So make sure you do that, and probably, unless you got the old school FM radio in your home somewhere, you probably want to download the app, which would be 99.9 The Fan, Google Play, App Store, depending on your phone. That way you can listen there, connect it up to whatever you need to inside, and watch and listen to the broadcast that you love with Mike and Trip. You really do learn when the games like get condensed, right? There's only 4 teams playing now. You really learn how, like, around the entire sports world, like, Trip Tracy is a national treasure. Like, people absolutely love that guy. Even, casual fans that maybe root for a different team. When they have the opportunity to take in some more content from Mike and Trip, they get really excited. And you should be thankful that they are our guys, especially here on 99.9 The Fan. Also, in the interest of breaking records, let's just go ahead and give out our keyword. Our next keyword, I should say. I want the highest 4 o'clock total of texts in our Canes playoff ticket giveaway. So I'm going to give you darn near the entire hour, about 57 minutes. The keyword is NET, N-E-T. The number to text it, 919-860-5326. That's 919-860-5326. Keyword NET, N-E-T. That's it. 3 letters. That's all you have to send. You don't have to give us your name or your birth date or anything like that. You do not have to. Just text in NET to 919-860-5326. If you do that, the rest is self-explanatory. I believe we'll be picking our winner tomorrow because it is tickets to Game 2. Game 1 is tomorrow. These are tickets to Game 2 at the Lenovo Center. Hopefully, you'll be seeing the Canes after they take a 1-0 lead. And then you can see them get the 2-0 lead over Montreal. Which, by the way, every win extends a crazy win streak to start the playoffs. The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan. We are waiting for Justin Gainey, NC State head men's basketball coach, to join us. In the meantime, I can fill you in on some information that I plan on asking Coach Gainey about. 247 Sports, Pack Power is reporting. Alvin Brooks, who's an assistant coach to Justin Gainey, Matthew Driscoll, who's an assistant coach to Justin Gainey, and Anthony Goings, who's an assistant coach to Justin Gainey, all are making more than $400,000 this year. That would make them the 3 highest paid men's basketball assistant coaches in NC State program history, according to Pack Power. The highest being, I think it was James Johnson years ago, at $400K, according to the reports. So, Justin Gainey, when he was hired, right, a guy that didn't have a ton of head coaching experience, but understood the program, played at the program from North Carolina, had been an assistant at some very high-level programs, Tennessee most recently. It appears as if the state powers that be, right, the executives, the front office, the administration, the school, may be acknowledged that he is a guy that early on in his career as a head coach is going to want a really, really supportive assistant coaching staff, and gave him the cash. 3 guys all making over $400K. I'm not a math wizard, but that's well over $1 million in assistant coach's salary. So, and in addition to the sports staff and everything else that comes with it, that's a pretty big commitment. And I'll people love when I do this. I will quote a North Carolina coach, Bill Belichick, who has long said, good teams can't overcome bad coaching. right? So there is the argument of, like, if you're spending money, you want to put it all on the field. You want to buy the players. But bad coaching can upset no matter how talented your roster is. So put together really good coaches. You'll find a way to get the most out of the talent on your roster is kind of the argument there. 247 Sports, again, on that report. Pack Power with the report. Corey Smith, guy we know here on the show. Brooks, Driscoll, Goings, 3 highest paid assistant coaches in NC State program history. All right, we are working to get Coach Gainey on the phones. We can continue talking a little college basketball, though. Justin Gainey is moving into a head coaching role at a really, really interesting point because he's showing up, and for so long, for so many years, I mean, we're talking decades, if not over a century, when a new coach took over, there was a bit of paint by numbers on how he wanted to run the program. Right? All right, you got your conference schedule, and then you got these, 4 and 5 non-conference games that we play every year. We call them non-conference rivalries. We got these the cupcake games that you schedule, maybe a tournament or 2 that we play in, and that's most of your schedule. But now you take over a program, you got to flip your entire roster, you got to play the transfer portal, you got to do all of that, and you have to decide what kind of a non-conference scheduler you are. Are you going to line up the biggest, baddest bullies and try to boost your net ranking by playing all the best teams? Are you going to try to build your team's confidence with a bunch of cupcakes at the beginning? Are you willing to play true home and homes? Are you somebody that's going to fight for neutral courts? Do you pair it with NIL? Have you considered what Duke did with Amazon? Does that become something? So Justin Gainey has a lot of questions that he has to answer beyond even what most in history, what most new coaches have had to kind of wrap their heads around. So it's a really interesting point in taking over a basketball program with the history and the high expectations of a school like NC State. But he's from here, right? Do you know what's maybe the best part if we do get him on the phone lines here and time is ticking? But do you know what is probably the best part? The media doesn't have to, when being introduced to Justin, they don't have to do like the "Have you tried" cookout. They don't have to do like the "Do you know the difference in the barbecue?" You don't have to do all that because, right, he's a Greensboro guy, right? He played at NC State. We know that he knows cookout. We know he's got a cookout order. We know he knows the things about North Carolina that everybody always, gives the outsiders the hard time about. So it is a refresher that we can dive straight into the basketball. And I try to avoid those kind of conversations because sometimes I think they get a bit cheesy. But, you got to do a little bit of it when somebody's outside the area and is kind of being introduced to the triangle in a certain way. But you don't have to do it with Justin Gainey because right? He's a guy from around here. He's got friends around here. He's got contacts around here, and we'll see how it goes. Again, we are working to get Justin Gainey, the NC State head men's basketball coach, on the Heister Automotive Group hotline. And you probably heard the excitement in my voice. Coach Gainey, I just got the thumbs up, has joined us here on the phone lines. Coach, we appreciate you for taking the time. I was just talking with the people that we don't have to, for you, like we do with so many other coaches, ask you if you have your cookout order, if all the ins and outs of North Carolina because you are a North Carolina guy. How does it feel to be home and around so many people that you know?
North Carolina born and bred. I'm excited to be back in North Carolina to get some of the best hush puppies in the world. And there's no better sweet tea than that North Carolina, specifically Raleigh sweet tea. So it's great to be back. And the reception has been unbelievable. And just, being out and around and in restaurants and everything and just getting to meet people and to shake hands. It's been great. It's been great.
And a big part of the time you've spent around here has been assembling your coaching staff. 247 Sports reported that Alvin Brooks, Matthew Driscoll, and Anthony Goings, 3 of your assistants, are the highest paid assistant coaches in program history. Was that something you fought for? Was that something you felt necessary was a part of your plan in building the program?
Well, when I set out to put together my staff, so much of a coach's success lays on the shoulders of your coaching staff. And I knew going into it, I wanted guys with high character. I wanted guys that had a lot of experience from a lot of different places, right? And bringing in those different experiences, one, helps me, but also helps our guys because they're able to pour into them. Within our staff, we've had a chance to coach over 70 guys that have played in the NBA, and so when we're talking to recruits and we're able to share those stories, it really resonates with them. And then I wanted guys that have won, right? Guys that have been on part of programs that have won, because when you win, it feels different. It sounds different. Practice feels different, right? And so I wanted guys that had experienced that at a high level, and I feel like I knocked my staff out the park. I mean, these guys are great, and excited to work with them and us to continue to grow. And they're all excited about NC State. I mean, they are excited about it. Their families are excited, and it's just it's awesome. And thanks to Chancellor Howell and Boo Corrigan for their support in me going out and trying to hire the best staff in the country.
We're talking with Justin Gainey, the first-year head coach of the NC State men's basketball program. I feel like I just got a part of the recruiting pitch there. Is that NBA talk, is that something you use to get Paul McNeil Jr. back in the fold for your team? And I guess is the plan to have him kind of as the focal point of your offense?
Man, we're excited to get Paul back. And, when I sat down to have, my meetings, with the guys that could potentially return, Paul was at the top of that list. He and Zamaika, both of those guys were at the top of that list because of their roots, right? They're North Carolina guys. And I want to make sure we take care of the state and take care of the state in a major way. And those two guys were highly coveted, come out of high school, ultra talented. Zamaika hadn't had a chance to really show what he can do, right? And everybody's process is different. And Paul has done it. He's done it on the big stage. And man, I've been watching him since the 10th grade, and and I have a relationship with him that is beyond the basketball court, right? And so when I got here, just being able to have those deep conversations with him about basketball, about NC State, about North Carolina, the state, and about his legacy. Everything that we were talking about aligned. And obviously he went through his process. He had a process, and he went through it and still chose NC State. And so, man, I'm excited to have him back, looking forward to working with him, and looking forward to helping him develop. He's got so much untapped potential, right? We see all the great things he's done and that he's capable of, and everything, but he has so much untapped potential. And on top of that, both he and Zamaika are great young men.
You bring up Zamaika Wilkins, one of your big guys, right? 6'9". Looking at your roster and the group you've put together with transfer portal and everything else, is there's still a need for size? Are you still out there looking for maybe some big guys to get some minutes?
Tim, you can never have too much size, right? if you look at like the NBA right now, I'm watching the Spurs and the OKC Thunder, man, there's not a player on the court under 6'5", right? And so having big guys, having a lot of big guys is critical. And so as we look to fill out this roster, we're looking to add some depth at those positions. I really like what we have right now, but I also want to add a few more to the mix.
We're talking with Justin Gainey, head coach, men's basketball over with the NC State Wolfpack. Coach, what are your goals for non-conference scheduling, right? It seems like every coach has different theories on how to best maximize net ranking or this, that. When you put together a non-conference schedule, what are your priorities?
Yeah, my director of basketball operations / chief of staff, Bill Komar, has years of experience in schedule construction. We're also rely heavily on our administrative staff, and then with the other resources within the ACC to put together the most competitive schedule, but also the schedule that's going to put us in the best position to be where we want to be on selection Sunday when those teams are being called. And so, my philosophy there as far as scheduling goes is I want to use the non-con to really prepare our team, and depending on what those needs are, that would dictate what that schedule looks like. But I wanted it to be competitive. I wanted it to be in different environments, neutral sites, some true road games. I want to play tough. I wanted it to be tough. I wanted it to be challenging. So when we get to league play, right, we're not caught off guard by anything. And then I want to be able to bring some of those high major games to the Lenovo Center, the best home court in the country.
Bill Komar, who you brought up, your chief of staff, obviously this is a conversation that I'm sure pops up when you all get together. But when you see the Duke-Amazon partnership, is that something that you think is to be emulated or considered, because it's so new to all of us, even in the media?
Yeah, it's intriguing. I haven't really had a chance to do a deep dive on exactly the particulars of it or learn really the particulars of it. But yeah, it was interesting, and I don't know enough about it to really speak on it.
All right, we're talking with Justin Gainey, head coach, NC State men's basketball coach. Before we let you go, I've asked this of a few new NC State coaches, and obviously I think you can be almost an authority on it with your history. But can you give us your NC State men's basketball Mount Rushmore?
Man.
Put you on the spot here, but it's a
you sure did.
A question
I mean,
that the fans have asked of coaches in the past.
Yeah, man, it's been, and we're talking players.
I'll open it up to you as a coach if you want to include coaches. Honestly, you're just making it more difficult on yourself.
I really am.
That's more names that are deserving. But you can do players only or include coaches if you wanted to.
Yeah, you got David Thompson. Norm Sloan, Jimmy Valvano, and then I got one more.
Don't forget, you could throw Justin Gainey up there, coach or player.
No, I'm not fit to be on that. But I mean, it's so, that last one is so hard. I mean, you got Lorenzo Charles. With the putback, you got Julius Hodge, who just had an unbelievable career here. And you got the two-headed monster of fire and ice, Chris Corciani and Rodney Monroe. I'd put a collage of that group as my fourth head on the Mount Rushmore.
Smart move there, Coach. Right? Because now everybody you talk to, you can go, you were gonna be fourth. I just didn't want to, hurt other people's feelings. It's a pro tip right there from Coach Gainey. Coach, we appreciate the time. Hopefully, we're able to catch up again this offseason, and good luck with everything as you plant the foundation of your program.
Sounds good. Thank you so much. Thanks for having me.
Once again, that is Coach Justin Gainey, head coach NC State men's basketball, here on the Heister Automotive Group hotline, joining us on the drive on 99.9 The Fan. Pro move. You leave the last face on Mount Rushmore kind of open to interpretation, because then you can bump into some of these guys. You know what I mean? I don't think anybody will get mad about David Thompson, Norm Sloan, Jimmy V. It's a good group right there. The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan, will be back. Up next, we have our Cup check-in to keep you ready for the Eastern Conference Finals, which start tomorrow in the NHL. Stick around.
One goal.
Let's go, Canes!
Slavin, he gets it to Hall. Hall whips it across. Blake with a shot. He scores! It's over!
Hoist Lord Stanley's Cup.
Oh, this is going to be fun, isn't it?
Oh, yeah.
Wow.
Playoff hockey.
Here we go.
Here's a chance. Sebastian Aho in. Short hit back in. Scores! Oh, talk to me, Shorty! Carolina!
The Triangle's official home for the Carolina Hurricanes. 99.9 The Fan, the Triangle sports leader.
Hello, I'm John Heister for the Heister Automotive Group. And we're constantly looking for ways to serve you better. One of the ways we do that is with something we call a Go-See. And that's where you select a vehicle from our inventory, and we have thousands, and we get one of our product specialists to bring that vehicle to you at your convenience. How do we do that? Well, it's simple. We have a group of employees that are evaluated based on the number of presentations they do. They're glad to do it. So it's just one more way we get off our keister and bring Heister to you.
Jungle Cashword Scratch-Offs and Digital Instance games are here.
2 ways to play.
Yeah. Play Scratch-Offs like you do.
Scratch it.
Play Digital Instance on your phone.
2 ways to win.
Right. 2 ways to find letters and complete words. 2 ways to win up to $150,000.
That's a lot of crackers.
Jungle Cashword from the North Carolina Education Lottery. 2 ways to play, 2 ways to win instantly. Must be 18 to play. Approximate overall odds to win range from 1 in 3.79 to 3.90. Problem gambling helpline 877-718-5543.
Give me a mountain with lots to do. Give me something simple and true. All I need is sunshine and that cool, refreshing Mountain Dew. So give me my good friends, give me a Dew.
Grab some ice-cold Mountain Dew today.
Mountain Dew.
Stop by Handy Hugo's for great deals on your favorite Mountain Dew products. Head to Handy Hugo's today.
Do you owe $10,000 or more to the IRS like Will?
When I was 50, my whole life fell apart. I lost my job, I lost my wife, I lost the house, I lost pretty much everything except for my life. When the IRS came calling, I just didn't have it in me. I felt like Wile E. Coyote, just waiting for that IRS anvil to drop.
Then Will found Tax Relief Advocates.
I heard their advertisement on the radio, I wrote down the number, and I made the call that changed everything. The IRS gave me a bill for $40,000. Tax Relief Advocates got that down to $3,200. I've paid 9 cents on the dollar. Now that's a great deal in anybody's book.
If you owe 10 or even hundreds of thousands of dollars to the IRS, don't lose hope. Do what Will did and call TRA for a consultation.
But for me, the real win is I got my life back.
Visit TRA.com or call 800-488-2578. 800-488-2578. That's 800-488-2578.
Blake with a shot, they score! It's deflected out in front. Jackson Blake continues his torrid pace in this series, and the Canes have tied it up at 1.
The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan. All right. I have unintentionally gotten my competitive juices absolutely revved up. In the 3 o'clock hour, you all helped us absolutely smoke our 3 o'clock record.
Let's go.
For the Canes playoff ticket giveaway keyword texts. Smoked our 3 o'clock record. So now I need to break the 4 o'clock record. I need to. So please text the keyword NET, N-E-T, to 919-860-5326. Do it right now. And I don't even know why I'm saying please. I guess I'm polite. But really, it's for you. You should be saying thank you rather than me saying please. Because you're the one that could potentially win the tickets to Game 2 of the Eastern Conference Finals.
We should be demanding this right now.
It really should be like the most obvious thing in the world. The keyword is NET. You need to text it in by 5 o'clock today to get this hour's entry into our Canes playoff ticket giveaway. And if you do that, you and a friend, you and a family member, you and a coworker, you get a pair is what I'm saying. You can take 2 people, yourself and someone else, to Game 2 Eastern Conference Finals. So text it, please. Text it. NET, N-E-T, to 919-860-5326. If you do that, you could win yourself playoff tickets. And if you're like, I want to, but maybe you're the only person in the triangle that's not super jacked up for the Eastern Conference Finals, and you need to be jacked up, we'll continue getting you jacked up by previewing the game. And to help us do that, we have our 99.9 The Fan Cup check-in. It's time for our cup check-in with Adam Gold, served up by Carolina Ale House. Earlier, Adam Gold had the chance to visit with Johnny Lazarus of the Daily Face-Off, obviously previewing tomorrow's game. Let's go ahead and take a listen.
It's the first period of game one, and that's it. I mean, like, I think the rest versus rust conversation is only used for game one of every series. Like, I think that is where this conversation and debate comes in. Granted, Carolina's played, 4 games in how many days? 28 days or whatever it's been.
8 in the last 36.
Yeah, it's been a long layoff for them, yes. And that's where you feel like the first 10 minutes of the first period, it might be a little sloppy, and you can practice as hard as you want. You can make it a game-style practice, but there's nothing like playing a hockey game. And I think for me, where that conversation goes into this series, it's that Montreal has played 2 really, really tough opponents. Yep. And they've been in those situations. They've felt desperation, and desperation isn't something that you can channel. It's something that you just feel. So I think they have had that. They will bring that into game one. As any hockey player will tell you, if you go into Carolina, Lenovo, I guess is what it's called now, used to be PNC Arena, you feel desperation from warm-ups. That right. Building, credit to Canes fans. Like, I am one to, I've been to playoff games in Carolina. I give Canes fans a ton of credit. I will defend them when people say they are a horrible fan base, because that couldn't be further from true. But that said, my issue with Carolina fans that I've felt throughout the playoffs is that Canes fans want everyone to pick them to win. Right? Am I wrong?
100%.
That's all they want. That's all they want. But it's funny. I was having this conversation. I was having this conversation last night with a friend, and I said the Carolina Hurricanes are like a toddler that everyone knows can walk, but is still leaning on the coffee table to get around. We're expecting them to just walk on their two feet. We know they're capable of it, but we haven't seen it yet. And that's all we're waiting for.
JLazzy23 on Twitter. Johnny Lazarus from Daily Face-Off is joining us here on the Adam Gold Show. I think the other thing that I've pushed back on is that we keep, and I knew we were going to see it. So when Carolina won the series against Philadelphia, I immediately put on Twitter, now get ready. You're about to see 1-16. You're going to see that over and over and over and over again. And this gets back to my pushback on rest versus rust, and why it's such a small part is because, to me, I think that's just such a, I hate saying lazy. I think there's an element of it that matters. I think it's the last 2 series that matter. The 2 Florida series. What happened against Boston in 2019 could not have less to do with this. What happened against Pittsburgh in 2009, Rod Brindamore was the captain of that team. Yeah. So it has nothing to do, but I can't argue facts. And though that 0-8, it shouldn't matter, but it's used because it helps drive home the narrative. My problem is that we seem to be forgetting just how good Florida was. Yeah. That, you're in the New York area. I grew up an Islander fan.
You did?
The first team I loved was the Islanders teams of the 80s that won 4 straight titles. Other than that team, and maybe the Red Wings of the late 90s, early aughts, that Florida team, for the last 2 years, that's the best team I've seen in the NHL. And why not celebrate that rather than drag a team down that couldn't beat that because they weren't the only ones?
Well, I don't know if it's one versus the other. I think the Panthers, after year 2, winning last year's cup, it was celebrated because the first year it's like they blow a 3-0 lead in the cup final. It's McDavid. It's the best player in the world.
Right.
And you're kind of sitting there critiquing Florida because they let this huge opportunity go away.
They were feeling it.
And then the second year against Edmonton, and they get through Carolina again, obviously, you're starting to see that nobody can really beat them, right? And I think when you just talk about the landscape of sports media and you look at the best teams and you talk about the best teams, you're not really praising them until they've done it. You're looking for ways to beat them. And I think that's what we see with Carolina, right? They've been this best team in the regular season year after year after year, yet you're looking for ways that someone can beat them before You praise them. Once they get over that hump, you're going to praise them and say how great they are. But until they do that, you can't praise them.
No doubt.
I think that's what we saw with Florida. So like this 1-16 thing, and now, Adam, we're seeing it with Buffalo, right? It was 14 years. That's done. That is put to rest. You will never hear that again because they have changed the narrative. So all that this team needs to do is change the narrative, win the conference final, and you'll never hear it again.
The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan. There's your cup check-in, served up by Carolina Ale House. Want to hang out with Stormy and the Canes crew? Head to Carolina Ale House's Cary location during the playoffs for official viewing parties. I mean, it is not anywhere near the top of the actual motivation for the Carolina Hurricanes, but if they win the Eastern Conference Finals, a pretty significant, unintended consequence would be you get to stop hearing about the fact that you can't win the Eastern Conference Finals from all of the skeptics across the country, and you stop getting frustrated by the Panthers play a very similar system. It's not the system. Because you've had to yell that so much in the last handful of years, just making it to the Stanley Cup final. Again, not the actual motivation, but a nice little side benefit that those conversations would stop. The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan. We're a little thrown off here, but that doesn't mean we don't have time for our blind ranking. Let's go ahead and fire it up.
All right, Tim, we're going to blind rank players and how much impact they will have in the Montreal Canadiens versus Carolina Hurricanes series, but we're including both teams here, Tim.
Interesting.
So, yes, it's not just Canes. We're also going to be throwing in Carolina Hurricanes and Montreal Canadiens players, so it's a mix of both.
Skaters and goaltenders.
Everybody.
Okay.
All right, anybody that could step on the ice. And we're not talking for post-game or post-series handshakes. Yeah, the E-bug. Right. All right, first name on this list. Again, a blind ranking players that will have. You're going to blind rank the factor that they will have in this series. We'll start with Andrei Svechnikov, Carolina Hurricanes forward.
Ooh, that's a
heat right from the get-go, Tim.
Right out the gate. Gosh, his role is so important. That line getting going is so important. I'll go 2 for Svech. And by the way, it's positive and negative impact, right? We know Svech has a propensity for finding himself in the box. Penalties, whether warranted or unwarranted, just kind of follow him around. I think Kane's ability to stay out of the penalty box becomes a big part of this game, this series. He's due for such ridiculous positive goal regression. What is he? Is it? I'm at 3.9 in my head. Is he shooting 3.9% in the postseason?
Something like that. I mean, he's shooting. He leads the team in shots, and he's gotten quality looks.
And I say not bad looks. So if that continues, that can be tough. But at the flip side, if he goes above his average enough to make his average out, if that makes any sense, we could be looking at a 6-goal series, something like that. So I'll put Svech number 2.
His expected goals are only below Logan Stankoven.
That's wild, considering Logan Stankoven has 1 million goals and Svech has 1.
Exactly. All right, so again, we're blind ranking players and how much of a factor that they will have in the Canadiens versus Canes series, including players from both teams. I give you Andrei Svechnikov. You put him at number 2. Next player I give you, Lane Hudson, defenseman for Montreal.
Good player.
He's not a big guy, but man, he's good.
Good player.
So good.
He's been a bit of a creator for them, leading the team in points, but I don't think he has that many goals.
I think it's 1.
Okay.
Maybe 1.
Good player. Obviously, their blue line is going to be tested because the Canes, get up and down in transition. They like to keep it in the offensive zone for long periods of time. I'm putting him 3.
He has 2 goals and 12 assists this postseason.
I mean, it's not exactly what our memories told us, but pretty darn close to what our memories told us. He's very good. Matter of fact, you can probably find some ridiculous things I've said because I used to get really mad when Jacob Slavin wasn't on certain top defenseman lists, and Hudson was always up there, and it was always Makar, Quinn Hughes. So Hudson was catching strays just because I wanted Slavin up there, and it wasn't the rest. So I'll openly say I've said some things that I, looking back on, were probably unwarranted because he's really good.
Okay, next one. Again, we're blind ranking players and the factor that they will have in the Canes versus Habs series, including players from both teams. I gave you Andrei Svechnikov. You put him at 2. I gave you Lane Hutson. You put him at 3. So you have 1, 4, 5 available left here on the blind ranking. Next player on this list will be Jordan Staal.
Massive impact.
I know, I'm bringing some heaters here early.
But, like, the type of impact that, like, even somebody who's looking for it, I don't always notice it. You know, you know what I mean? He does a little bit of everything. It's more obvious this year since he is, you know, out there on power plays and things more, and he's scoring more goals. I don't think I can put him 1, but it would feel really just unnecessary to put him 5. So I will put the captain at number 4.
Okay. So you have Andrei Svechnikov 2, Lane Hutson 3. You put Jordan Staal at 4. So you have number 1 and number 5 available. So you're going to bookend your blind rankings right here.
I do this a lot. I do this to myself, and I don't enjoy it quite a bit.
All right, next one on this list is Cole Caulfield, forward.
I don't think he can be 1, so I have to put him 5.
Okay.
But again, you know what? Every name you've given me thus far, and I don't know what the last one's going to be, but they're going number 1, so I hope they fit into this as well. Every name you've given me, I would not be super shocked if after the series we're like, oh, that guy was the difference. You didn't feed me a lot of fourth liners, if you know what I'm saying.
No.
So Caulfield has to be 5, but I mean, similar to Svech, if you told me he had like a 6-goal series, if this one went 6 games, I don't think I would be like jaw on the floor surprised by it. The dude can score 1 million goals.
He put up 51 goals during the regular season.
Gosh, was it 50?
Yeah, it was over 50.
I knew he was on pace there at the Olympic break for a giant number. That makes me feel like maybe. And no, I can't put him 1. So actually, I did myself a favor there by just having 1 and 5 because I'm not putting him 1, 5. That's by default. It's not the correct number, but of the 2, it's the correct number.
You have 51 goals, 37 assists during the regular season.
Yeah, that guy,
points.
that's the 5th most impact on this one. I did not play this well.
I will say this, though. He has 4 goals, 5 assists, 9 points this postseason, 14 games, but he is a -7.
And almost all, I don't know what the exact percentage of, but almost all in the power play. 5-on-5, he has not been nearly as impactful. And I don't know how many of those 51 in the regular season were on the power play. But this postseason, he's been kind of a power play merchant where, his 5-on-5 stuff has not been as productive. So maybe I'm talking myself back into it. Maybe that wasn't as bad a pick as I originally thought it was when I heard 50-goal score. For some reason, I thought it was like 45, which isn't a huge difference, but it's a huge difference.
8 of his 9 points have come on the power play.
Hey, there you go. So some things my memory is serving me very, very accurately on in this experience. Some are way off. I had him as not a 50-goal scorer, but I know the percentage of his power play versus even strength goals in the postseason.
Yeah, he has 1 5-on-5 goal. That's it. All right, so again, we're blind ranking players that will and their impact in the Canes versus Canadiens series. I give you Andrei Svechnikov. You put him at 2. I give you Lane Hutson, the defenseman for Montreal. You put him at 3. I gave you the Canes captain Jordan Staal. You put him at 4. I give you Cole Caulfield, the forward for the Montreal Canadiens. You put him at 5. So number 1 on this list in the blind ranking of the factors that we'll have in Carolina versus Montreal. Number 1 on this list, Nick Suzuki, Montreal Canadiens.
I would have liked to have number 1 be a Kane. So it's kind of like, wah, wah. But no, Nick Suzuki's a really good player. Do you know what's become a little bit of an online back and forth between like the deep parts of Montreal and Canes fans on social media?
What's that?
Lining up the centers and deciding who has the advantage. And Suzuki is one that, like, even Canes fans, when they bring their Twitter spears out and they're going to go start a fight, they're just kind of like, well, Suzuki's okay. Like,
Suzuki's a stud.
It's like, sure. We won't focus on Suzuki right now. He is just kind of in his own category. And then you get mad at, the other centers. It's actually, my list is not bad looking at it. It's weird when you mix the two teams because I want like my homer is a little hurt, right? Like I want to be Canes. But the list, it's not awful. I think there's a few tweaks I might make. But that's not bad. Dennis, as always, after a blind ranking, I do it blind, and then we give you the gift of sight, and you make the decisions with full vision. How would you rank these 5?
I think you actually did a pretty solid job with it.
I
think you genuinely did. I would maybe swap Svetch and Stahl, maybe, just because we know Suzuki is going to be skating against Sebastian Aho. Like I think we 100% expect to see that. But I mean, Jordan Stahl, with the way Montreal's power play has been going during the postseason, especially how they played against Buffalo, Stahl's going to be such a massive factor into that too. So I would probably just switch 2 and 4 and put Stahl at 2 and Svetch at 4. But other than that, I mean, it's a pretty solid list.
Do you know what's crazy? You didn't give me any, like, those are all dudes. You know what I mean?
Oh, yeah.
And you left a lot of dudes off. There's going to be a lot of guys that could potentially have big impacts on this series for both sides. I mean, you didn't have anyone from the Stankoven line.
No.
I
didn't give you Demidov. I didn't give you Slafkovsky. I didn't give you...
You didn't give me Newhook, who's obviously feeling some kind of mystical powers.
Yeah.
Like, there's a lot of things. And you didn't give me either goalie.
I did not.
There's a lot of options there.
By the way, Nick Suzuki, of his 13 points this postseason, 8 have come on the power play.
I mean, when your power play, what were they? You said 36% against Buffalo, right? Like, there's just a lot of points being scored on the power play.
There were 9 of 25 against Buffalo.
Because I know Slafkovsky, most of his were on the power play. I know Demidov, most of his were on the power play.
He hasn't scored much. I think he's only scored twice this postseason.
He has 7 points, 5 of them on the power play.
Mm-hmm.
So there's just their power play has a ton of their impact.
Yes, Slafkovsky, all 4 of his goals this postseason have come on the power play.
And 4 of his 5 assists.
Yep.
So it's been just a very power play heavy production for them. Stay out of the box, Canes. Or have your your penalty kill be as awesome as it has been. The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan. Before we move on, Tim Donnelly here for Maynard Service Company. Heating, cooling, plumbing, electric. Great time to start thinking about heating or cooling maintenance if you haven't done so already, right? I know that the weather's supposed to break a little bit with the rain later this week, but it's getting hot. You're going to be working your air conditioner. Get them out there to check on it. Maintain, right? Make sure you avoid those really, really big, really, really expensive problems. And as always, heating, cooling, plumbing, electric. If there's any kind of hiccups in your house's systems, go ahead and get Maynard Service Company out there at the first sign of trouble. They can get it fixed up before the problem becomes a big one. The number to call is 919-361-0993. That's 919-361-0993. Or visit them online, MaynardServices.com. That's MAYNOR Services.com. Up next, we talk with Stephen Brooks, Carolina Chaos. We're talking PLL Lacrosse. The head coach joins us on the Heaster Automotive Group hotline next.
Move your sports day forward.
Doubling the college football playoff from 12 to 24 teams is change for the better. ACC, Big 12, Big 10, all on board. More access to the title game and more moments for players to celebrate. A quick history lesson. You probably forgot the Natty was once determined by reporter polling with no game played, and that was less than 30 years ago.
Get set up. Join Next Up with Paul Ihander. Mornings at 9 on 99.9 The Fan, the Triangle Sports Leader.
You hear that? That's the sound of Pepsi Zero Sugar. The better tasting, more refreshing Zero Sugar Cola. Listen to that endless pour. If it sounds this good, just imagine how it tastes. So good. Pepsi Zero Sugar. Let your taste decide.
Stop by Handy Hugo's for great deals on your favorite Pepsi products. Head to Handy Hugo's today.
Complete rules for all contests on Sports Radio, The Buzz, and 99.9 The Fan can be found during normal business hours at 3100 Highwoods Boulevard in Raleigh, or always online at 999thefan.com.
This Memorial Day weekend, make plans to come to the first annual Hot Tub and Sauna Expo, sponsored by Atlantic Spas and Billiards. Factory rebates and discounts for Hot Spring, Caldera, Saratoga, and Free Flow hot tubs. Huge savings on Tilo saunas and endless pool swim spas. The lowest prices of the year and an extra large selection of hot tubs, saunas, swim spas, and even cold plunges. The Hot Tub and Sauna Expo, located at 8721 Glenwood Avenue, Raleigh, 1 mile from RDU Airport on Highway 70. Relax, rejuvenate, and save.
Canes hockey is back. Grab an ice cold Surfside to enjoy while you cheer on your Canes. Only 100 calories, 2 grams of sugar, and 0 bubbles, so easy to sip and enjoy. It's not a seltzer, it's Surfside. Official hard tea and lemonade of the Carolina Hurricanes. Must be 21. Please drink responsibly.
With Bet365 Early Payout, you win even if they lose. Get paid out instantly when your team goes up big, even if they blow the lead later. Bet365. Winning is everything. Gambling problem? Call 1-877-718-5543 or visit morethanagame.nc.gov. 21 plus only. Must be physically located in North Carolina.
The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan. In just a minute or two, we are expecting Stephen Brooks, Carolina Chaos, pro lacrosse head coach. While we get him all hooked up, we need to break the 4 o'clock record, everybody, and we got a ways to go. So if you haven't done so yet, for your own good, for your own chances of winning a pair of tickets to Game 2, Eastern Conference Finals, Canes against the Montreal Canadiens, go ahead and text in our keyword for this hour. It is NET, N-E-T. Text NET to 919-860-5326. Text NET to 919-860-5326. You can get another entry every hour. So even if you texted in the keyword last hour, you did a keyword during the Adam Gold Show or yesterday, you can gain another entry. Each time you do it is another opportunity for you to win a pair of tickets to Game 2 Eastern Conference Finals hockey. And if you haven't been in the building for an Eastern Conference Finals game or a playoff hockey game, I can't emphasize enough, you want to send the text in. You want to get as close as you possibly can. Give you as many possible chances as you can to win those tickets, because it is a really, really cool, really, really memorable experience. And, if you're a Canes fan, why not? Costs you nothing. It's a text. You probably send 1 million of them to your friends, sending memes. Might as well send one that could win you tickets. Again, the keyword is NET. The number to text it to is 919-860-5326. And you have until 5 o'clock. So only 12 more minutes, with that being a live keyword. We'll have a new one in the 5 o'clock hour, and yes, we will be trying to break the 5 o'clock hour record as well. While we wait for Stephen Brooks, Carolina Chaos lacrosse coach, Dennis, I have some lacrosse news.
Go on.
The Stephen Decatur Seahawks, my high school up there in Maryland, state champions as of yesterday.
Oh, nice.
Lacrosse, boys lacrosse, and in Maryland it's a big deal. Now, did I play lacrosse? No. Do I know anybody on the team? Not really. One of my old basketball coach's sons is on the team, who I think was not even born yet when I was at the high school. So he's there winning a state championship. But, yeah, we got some lacrosse good vibes going on around here because, I just follow my old high school's athletic program on social media, and they told me they won a state title yesterday. So shout out to the Stephen Decatur Seahawks lacrosse program. And shout out to when's the Carolina women's game? Is that are they still waiting for that Maryland Final Four? Has that been played yet? That's Friday.
Yeah, this is weekend.
I feel like they have a Canes style break here. They beat whoever it was, Stanford. I forget who they played. But that's how long it's been. They got a Canes style postseason break here where they're just waiting forever and ever before they can get out there and play their women's lacrosse Final Four. But obviously, I think it's Chloe Burnett is the one who's like the Michael Jordan of women's lacrosse. Chloe something.
Chloe Humphrey.
Humphrey. That's what it was. I don't know where Burnett came from. Chloe Humphrey. It's like the Michael Jordan of women's lacrosse. 100 goals. That's good. The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan. Also, don't forget, and all of you out there can see, we also live stream our entire show on YouTube. So go subscribe to our YouTube channel, 99.9 The Fan. While you're there, check out our live stream. You can jump in the comments. Tomorrow we'll be looking for things like first goal score predictions that you can jump in and do in the YouTube live chat. Earlier today when we did blind rankings, you can do that there in the live chat. Play along with us. We always look forward to that interaction. So 99.9 The Fan on YouTube. Subscribe. All the way down to, like, this is how much I think of our YouTube audience. With these keywords that we've been giving out, and you have 10 more minutes for NET to be the keyword that you need to text to 919-860-5326. I have a list that they gave me printed out of the keywords for each hour, and I've been very careful to, like, as I pick up the paper, make sure it's facing away from the camera, because I'm worried that somebody on YouTube is going to be able to, like, screenshot it, zoom in, right, like FBI enhanced video, and know all of our keywords for the rest of the week and thus cheat. So I'm always thinking of you out there in YouTube world. I know you guys have your eyes on me. It looks like we are getting ready to bring on Stephen Brooks, Carolina Chaos head coach. PLL Lacrosse is where that's coming from. Dennis is at least chatting to somebody on the phone, and I believe it should be Stephen Brooks. By the way, Stephen Brooks taking over as the head coach of the Carolina Chaos earlier this year. It was January 2026 when he took over, and now he is joining us on the Heister Automotive Group hotline. Stephen Brooks, as I said, hired in January as the head coach of the Carolina Chaos, and he is joining us now. Coach, thank you very much for taking the time to join us. I mean, we'll just say you guys are a part of the wave, I guess, here. Pro sports in our state here in North Carolina, they're having a moment. Panthers are in the playoffs. Hornets were like an upstart team everybody was loving. Canes are rolling. Charlotte FC playoff push. Then the Chaos win the Lexus Championship earlier this year. How does it feel to be a part of just like the rising tide raising all boats?
Oh, it feels great. It feels great to be a big part of that city. Winning anything is an accomplishment in itself, but, hearing you rattle off all those tremendous awards and accolades that those teams have had, and to put us up in the echelon with them as well is a tremendous honor.
Now, the question is that Lexus Championship, that's really exciting. You want to celebrate it, but how do you build off that to a season title?
I mean, you just got to focus on the little things that we need to focus on. Winning the championship series is outstanding. It's a good rapport for the guys, but it's always the mentality is on to the next. Once you get the first sniff or the taste of the first victory, you want more and more and more. And so it's the importance to me is to keep these guys humble and hungry at the same time, but also understand that it's not easy to win championships, and we had to hit the ground running back again and focus on what we need to do to get to where we need to go and taking it week by week.
We're talking with Stephen Brooks, head coach of the Carolina Chaos, here on the Heister Automotive Group hotline. Coach, we hear constantly about the game of lacrosse growing. What is maybe the next step for that growth, and how much of that responsibility falls on people like yourself in the lacrosse world to make it more accessible?
Well, long story short, I'll try to make it extremely short. I come from Illinois. And so in Illinois, when I was playing, there was only 19 high school teams, and now there's over 100. And, everybody talks about the East Coast, the Northeast. The Northeast is all about lacrosse. But lacrosse demographically has gotten tremendously, it's expanded so much. And I think it's growing so fast that it's getting in front of people's eyes. It's getting in the kids' hands. It's a matter of, all right, we need to get better coaching and better philosophies out there, and we need to try to get this in front of more football players, hockey players, soccer players, and just try to get a stick in their hands. It's a frustrating sport, I'll admit, to start off. Passing and catching is never the easiest thing in the world. But as I said to myself when I was a kid, I had 3 older brothers, I said, what sport can you legally run around and hit somebody with a stick? And I said, sign me up. But I think, in order for us to get this trending in the right direction, we need to continue to grow in the youth and, grade schools and elementary schools and help expanding it. But, the PLL has done a phenomenal job over its inception of the league since 2019 and 2020. it's about giving back to the communities. And I think we're starting to get that head-on start for lacrosse, where guys that want to get back involved into the sport that's played pro for so on many years, they're starting to have kids as well, and they want to just pay it forward. And I think the moral of the story is right now is that we want to all pay it forward to give the next generation an opportunity. I mean, I look back to my two children, my son Xander, who is 11, and my daughter Mia, who's 7, now that they have the WLL.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's so important for us now to keep pushing that and keep giving back to the communities, keep giving back to the kids, teaching them everything that we need to know in order for it to skyrocket moving forward. And, I played in Charlotte for many years when I was playing in the MLL, and Charlotte Hounds fans at that time, now it's the Carolina Chaos, but when we played at American Legion Stadium, those fans showed up and showed out. And you know what? When I got the job, I was really excited about the fact that we go back to American Legion Stadium. We got the Reapers that are out there banging the drum, having great conversations, and it's more like a true atmosphere of having a team. And so, I think Charlotte's growing in the right direction, and it's our job now in the PLL and with the Carolina Chaos to now push that through that barrier and now make it as big as we possibly can to rank up with those other teams that are having success in Charlotte.
Stephen Brooks, Carolina Chaos head coach, joining us here on The Drive. You referenced your history a little bit there, but you were once the 6th overall pick in that MLL you described, the old Major League Lacrosse. That was 2008. Where has pro lacrosse maybe improved the game for the players themselves, right? Salaries, training staffs, in what aspect do you see maybe the biggest difference from when you were back in the game as a player to now what your players are dealing with today?
I think, once the MLL and then once Paul and Mike Rabel started the PLL, I think that was the biggest strong push that we've always asked for in professional lacrosse. A lot of guys talk about, a lot of people don't realize that a lot of these players are working a 9-to-5 job during the week, and then they fly out on the weekends to go play the sport that they absolutely love and care for. And, when the MLL days, it was a grind. It was a lot. Players weren't getting compensated the way they wanted to get compensated for taking every weekend out of their summer. But now when the PLL came about, Paul being a Hall of Famer that he is and knows nuances and the ins and outs of the game, he really wanted to push it forward to the next generation, and he wanted to take care of the athletes. And I think that's where the first and foremost biggest thing the PLL did is taking care of the athletes, having a league minimum salary, and then leaving it open for a maximum salary. And then when you have it entitled with that, you then add in social media and then marketing rights. And now you can personally give that marketing to the certain individuals as players and offer it up to them and give them the opportunity to get their name out there. And now it's just not the league talking about a team. It's now the league talking about a team and individual players. And now kids can latch on and follow through their stories of who they are, what they're about. And now, all these kids have all this access to phone and social media. Now they can start seeing these guys play. I mean, back in my day, I was watching it on VHS, and I was talking to my son the other day about, VHS. He's like, Dad, what's VHS? I was like, yeah, you have no idea. But now with being on the ESPN deal and being all over ESPN, you have instant access to lacrosse right in the tips of your fingers. You can go through profiles through the PLL app and start understanding these players a little bit more about who they are, what are they like. And then you can now, when you get to meet them, and I'll say this, out of all professional sports, I don't think there's anything that comes close to the relationship that players have with the fans. And after every one of our games, it is probably one of the coolest things to see is that every player takes their equipment off, goes to the stands and signs autographs and interacts with the fans right off the bat. Most pro sports, it's like, some guys will sign autographs and leave, but then it doesn't stop there. They'll meet kids in the hotel rooms, in the hotels that they're at. They'll see a kid in the street wearing a jersey that may be one of their teams or if not theirs, and they interact with them. And I think that's where Paul did that big separation piece from the MLL to the PLL days is now PLL is now the entity of wanting to be a true professional lacrosse league with that individual identity that gives the players to actually give back to the fan base. And then once these kids see, oh my gosh, I just talked to like a Blaze Reardon or a Shane Knobloch or a Ross Scooter, like, holy cow, he was completely cool and down to earth. It's like, yeah, that's who we are. We were once in those little kids' shoes, wanting to dream about being in this position that we are in now. And now it's our opportunity to now pay it forward and give back to the community. And I think that's where, the whole conglomerate of the PLL has done a terrific job doing.
Coach, we really appreciate your time. You can tell the passion. Good luck in your next game coming up, 10 days from now, May 30th against the Water Dogs. And hopefully we're able to do this again soon.
All right, thank you so much. I appreciate your time.
Once again, that is Stephen Brooks of the 1-1 on the season, fresh off their win Friday night against Boston. Carolina Chaos. And as you heard me say, their next game is against the Philadelphia Water Dogs May 30th. Their next home game will be Friday, June 5th against the Utah Archers, followed up June 6th against the Denver Outlaws. That is Carolina Chaos lacrosse coach, Stephen Brooks. We are going to take a break, but when we come back, we have the starting five, so do not go anywhere.
Can't get enough of the Carolina Hurricanes? Check out my podcast, Iced Tea, hosted by me, Megan LaMontagne, as I take you behind the scenes and get exclusive stories about the team. This season, I've interviewed Seth Jarvis's brother, Caden, who talks about a young Jarvie growing up, longtime PA announcer Wade Minter, who spills the tea on how a mess-up made national news, and legendary color commentator Trip Tracy, just to name a few of the guests. Listen wherever you get your podcasts or watch on YouTube.
At Wake Orthopedics Urgent Care, we spend days, nights, and weekends in 3 convenient locations providing specialized care for kids and adults. Sprains and strains, shoulders and knees, fractures, hammies, and more. All that and all without an appointment. Walk in or limp in, either way you'll get the care you need whenever you need it. Visit us today at wakemed.org.
SoundStation and Security, your automotive and audio experts. Car audio, car video, home theater, wheels and tires, and so much more. Plus, did you know SoundStation and Security offers full service for your vehicle? Alignments, inspection, oil changes, window tinting, and custom exhaust. And with a variety of financing options, SoundStation and Security can help you get what you need today. 2 locations, downtown Smithfield and on Glenwood Avenue in Raleigh. SoundStation and Security. Visit myhotsound.com.
Hi friends, this is Mark Pons with Chapel Hill Tire. You didn't switch to an electric vehicle for average, so why settle for average tires? Electric vehicles are heavier, faster off the line, and demand more from the road. At Chapel Hill Tire, we carry premium EV-ready tires. And right now, we are offering free installation on a complete set of Michelin, Pirelli, or Continental tires. That's a $120 value. With 13 Triangle area locations, we make purchasing tires easy and convenient. Book your appointment today at chapelhilltire.com and drive happy.
Leaves, water, debris. Hi, this is Hallie with Roofworks. There are a lot of things that can wreak havoc on your commercial property, and we are proud to be there for our dedicated customers that depend on us. From helping to design and build the roof for new construction, to maintenance, repair, and replacements, we've got the experience that you can count on. At Roofworks, we don't want to be the biggest, we just want to be the best. Visit us at roofworks.com. That's roof, WERKS.com.
I'm attorney Brian Ritchie. Workers' comp can be tricky, but my law firm will be on top of all the complicated paperwork and sneaky deadlines so that all of your I's are dotted and T's are crossed. If you've been hurt on the job, I'm on top of it. Contact us at ritchielaw.com.
Broadcasting live from the Eagle Leasing Storage Studio. WCMC HD1 Holly Springs. 99.9 The Fan. The Triangle Sports Leader.
I'm WRAL meteorologist Kat Campbell. It's been another sizzling hot day, and warm weather continues tonight with lows only dipping in the upper 60s. Thursday, we're back in the low 90s. It's partly cloudy with scattered storms possible, especially by the evening. Scattered storm chances again on Friday.
5 o'clock check of your money. Dow Jones at the closing bell today, up 645 points to 50,009.
It's 5 o'clock. Time to serve up the biggest sports stories of the day. Here comes your starting five.
The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan. I was just informed we did set a record for 4 o'clock entries.
Let's go.
The 4 o'clock hour in our Canes playoff ticket giveaway, which means we need to strive for perfection. We had a 3 o'clock record. We have a 4 o'clock record. We need that 5 o'clock record, and this is the toughest one to get. This is the highest record we have. The keyword is appropriate. It is CHAMP. CHAMP. Text in CHAMP right now to 919-860-5326. This is your last chance, by the way. There's no other ways to gain an entry that could potentially win you a pair of tickets to Game 2 of the Eastern Conference Final in Raleigh, Canes, Canadiens. What you have to do is so very, very simple. Just text CHAMP. That's the keyword. Text it to 919-860-5326. If you do that, you could be taking yourself and someone else of your choosing to Game 2 of the Eastern Conference Finals. And we want to set a record, so text your friends. Make sure they know. Make sure they know the keyword, the number to text it to, the whole thing. It's CHAMP is the keyword, and they have to send it to 919-860-5326. If you're lucky, maybe that friend, if they win based on your recommendation, they'll take you, and you get in the building either way.
It's a text to win, people.
Text. Don't call. Don't email. Don't send us a tweet. And if you're like, of course, we have gotten all of those in the past.
I had someone DM me.
That's an
I was like, you know what? Well done. They're like, well done.
Were they doing it as a joke?
Yeah, they're doing it as a bit.
All right, then that's funny.
They're doing it as a bit.
That's funny. The people send it to me on Twitter. I chuckle every time. I don't always respond, but I do. It makes me smirk. Text CHAMP to 919-860-5326, please. Now, having said that, and we'll remind you throughout the hour because we want that record, but having said that, we can now jump into the starting five.
Count them. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
The Big Ten commissioner, Tony Petitti, has made it very obvious that he and his conference want a 24-team college football playoff. I'm going to tell a quick story here because I think it's going to happen. It's a Matt Damon story, the actor. What was the rugby movie he was in where he was the New Zealand rugby guy? Either way, he was a New Zealand rugby guy. And Invictus. It was Invictus. He said he had, and it was directed by Clint Eastwood. He said he had some long monologue, right? It was like a pump-up speech in the locker room or something. And like a week before taping, he went to Clint Eastwood and he said, "Hey, the speech is great, but I think I can make it better. Do you mind if I do some rewriting on this and you know, add a few things just to make it flow a little bit better in my eyes?" And Clint was like, "Yeah, go ahead, do what you got to do." So he went back and he rewrote it a million times. And then on recording day, he did the speech, and Clint came up to him and was like, "I thought you were going to rewrite it." He goes, "Yeah, actually, fun fact, I rewrote it like 10 times and I couldn't get it right, so I rewrote it another 10 times, and I looked down and I realized I had rewritten it all the way back in a circle, almost word exactly to what it originally was, and I was just tinkering to tinker, so I just went back to the real one." I think we might have that in college football, where the reason why Tony Petitti is saying 24-team college football playoff is because he doesn't think they can make the money back that they would be giving up by eliminating conference championship games if they only expand to 16. He thinks you need those extra games from a 24-team playoff to make up the money that they're giving up for conference championships. I think there's going to be a world where they keep tweaking it, thinking of all the money they used to get and all this different stuff, and then eventually someone's going to suggest, like, what if we just had bowl games and we just used the whole season to decide the 2 best teams. And we could set up a computer system. It's going to end up like they're back at BCS. Because there's the things that people spend the most on for college football, a lot of times are nostalgic. And they keep building new and more new and more new, when I think they'd make a lot more money just keeping it kind of in the ways that it was. That's number 5. Let's get to number 4.
1, 2, 3, 4 all together.
That was I assume a Cleveland Cavaliers thunk?
Yes, it was. Because that was their fourth quarter.
Cleveland was ahead by 22 in the fourth, so not the entire fourth quarter was bad, as they led up to their 22-point lead. The issue is pretty much everything after that was bad. The Knicks came back in the Eastern Conference Finals Game 1 NBA playoff game from down 22 in the fourth quarter, and they ended up winning by 11. Granted, they needed overtime, but they smoked Cleveland in overtime. Credit to New York. Credit to the Knicks. Jalen Brunson and the squad. That's a real mental fortitude win right there. I actually think Knicks fans might appreciate that win more than if they just won by 30. Like the Knicks, they want to see you scratch and claw and find a way. I don't even know what that does to the rest of the series. It's such an unusual game. Like, if you just straight bully a team, I think that has impacts of, like, intimidation and everything. But Cleveland knows they can dominate most of a game to a 20-plus point lead, and the Knicks know there's no haymaker that Cleveland can land. They might just be right where they started. But that is a unusual Game 1 to a 7-game series. And then tonight, Thunder Spurs back on the court for Game 2 of the Western Conference Finals. Victor Wembanyama is trying to make a statement. I think there's a chance that by like a month from now, everybody is pretty much universally in agreement that he is the best player in the world. But that's a big statement that the Thunder are going to try to thwart tonight, because they have a 2-time back-to-back MVP, Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, as well. Didn't have a good Game 1, though. That is number 4. How about we jump to number 3? Results from the ACC baseball tournament as it is being played today and over the next few, and started yesterday. The 9 a.m. game today has not been kind to both teams in the triangle that have lost games in the ACC baseball tournament, lost them in that 9 o'clock window, that 9 a.m. window. And the only one that won in that window is because they were playing another team from the triangle. Duke beat NC State in a crazy 21-12 game yesterday in a game that started at 9 a.m. Today, Virginia beat Duke 6-4 in a game that started at 9 a.m. Not ideal. I'm tempted to say, perhaps Duke did the whole, exhausted themselves against NC State thing and then didn't have any left in the tank against Virginia. But 2 games in 2 days, you shouldn't be exhausted. Baseball isn't running a marathon. I know it can be mentally tiring, but, Mo Vaughn was a pretty good baseball player.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I don't know. Cardio, I don't know how much it plays in. Game going on right now, Notre Dame, Virginia Tech. They're still in the top of the first. This is the 3rd game of the day. I mean, unbelievable timing. Yesterday, they were all off schedule. This one was supposed to start at 5. They're in the top of the first. It's 5:13, so ACC on track today.
Yeah, not bad. Not bad. Well done.
Pittsburgh and Wake Forest, they're up at 9 if they stay on track. That'll be the nightcap. Wake Forest minus 270 to win. They've had a pretty good program over the last handful of years. Mm-hmm. Put a lot of guys in the MLB draft. Carolina will not be playing until tomorrow.
Well, that's what happens when you're the 2 seed.
That's what happens when you're the 2 seed.
You earned that right.
Georgia Tech, the 1 seed. Florida State, the 3 seed. Boston College, the 4 seed, I believe.
Yeah. Good old BC.
Working their way in. That's it for ACC baseball updates. Let's jump to number 2.
Just the 2 of us.
Let's do that hockey.
The Stanley Cup playoffs back in full swing over the next couple of days here as the Eastern and Western Conference Finals get going. Tonight, the Western Conference Finals will start. Puck drop at 8. It is Vegas at Colorado. The story of that game, Dennis?
Yep.
No Cale Makar?
No Cale Makar.
No, that's a loss right there.
Yeah, if you're the Colorado Avalanche and you don't have A, your best defenseman, and B, who happens to be the best defenseman in the world, yeah, it's a massive loss. Even though they've had a 6-day layoff, he took some couple pretty brutal hits and he labored through that last series against Minnesota. The fact that he can't go is significant.
He is officially listed as day-to-day, but they have made it clear not today. That's like with these long breaks, I think my brain just goes straight to like, oh, they'll be back. I did the same thing with Nikishin between the Ottawa and the Flyers game. Just to get a week off, you just assume like the trainers for professional sports teams, especially for key players, are like wizards, and they'll just sprinkle their magic dust, and you'll be back if you get a week. So Makar being out like legitimately shocked me, and you never want to use. Like, you want everybody to be healthy, but if you're Vegas, opportunity, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like, if you're Vegas, you losing the game won't make Cale Makar's injury any better. So you got to think you might as well win it, especially because, any win over Colorado is going to be difficult to come by, just based on the nature of how good they are. Even without Makar, they've got quite a few dudes that can go out there and impact the game.
He played just under 26 minutes a week ago in that overtime win against the Minnesota Wild. 26. He was 25 minutes and 50 seconds. Their 6th defenseman, Jack Acham, played 3:35. Like, they were literally basically running 5 defensemen out there. Was Colorado? I'm like, now you got even more thin on the back end with no Cale Makar. You're going to try and protect your third defensive pair.
And I mean, it is like that's what happens when you have in fantasy football, which I'm a nerd, we call it studs and scrubs, where you go out and you spend like all of your auction budget or whatever on getting some of the best players in the league. You're just aware that you're not going to have the depth, and you're going to have some players, perhaps even in your lineup, who are the best you can get for what you could spend, kind of deal, which is a backhanded compliment. So yeah, if you're Colorado, you have some of the top end, but you also, you're not going to have the depth if you spend what it takes to go get those types of players. That is. I mean, Cale Makar not in the Western Conference Finals. Do you think Nathan McKinnon goes full hero mode? Is just like, give me the puck, I've got it.
Probably.
Are you looking at 11 shots or something like that?
You might.
Just something crazy because he recognizes that, because Makar's a defenseman, but let's be real, they depend on him quite a bit for point production. Like, McKinnon's going to have to step into some of that, and who knows who else could step up.
I mean, he had 90 points, he has 90 career points in the playoffs, and that's in 88 playoff games as a defenseman. He had 79 points in the regular season over 75 games. Yeah, this dude's a point producer.
Or is it the opportunity for Mitch Marner to continue exercising the demons of his Toronto postseason runs and, puts the team on his back and scores a bunch?
Toronto fans can enjoy watching Mitch Marner for all I care.
He's a plus 11 this postseason.
Yeah, he's fantastic.
Pretty good. Pretty good. He's an almost Kane, by the way. He was on our list of players that fans had already traded for in their mind and started imagining what the lines would look like with that player, or signing him, I guess could be another way to describe it. Didn't end up happening, though, and Vegas is very pleased with that. That is number 2. Let's get to number 1.
The one! Now Aho back across Svechnikov. He's got to go skate to stick. He goes low to high for Gauze to spare. Now send it cross. They score! It's a power play goal! Andrei Svechnikov! It's the second power play goal of the game, and the Canes have a 3-1 lead here in the third.
Carolina Hurricanes tomorrow, finally, after the longest postseason break in modern NHL history. They will have puck drop on the Eastern Conference Finals tomorrow at 8, Lenovo Center. Home game for the Canes. They earned it. Home ice, top seed. I talked about this earlier, that it's way down the list of motivations for the Canes, but it will be nice. It might be nicer for people like us that have to, get in the mix and defend certain things about the Canes. There are so many, stigmas attached to Carolina, and as long as they don't advance out of the Eastern Conference Finals, the stigmas will stick around, whether they're true or not. It's a reputation that's hard to shake. And I'm going to float one at you, Dennis, and I'm going to see how you feel about it. So I believe this was an Athletic, meaning The Athletic, pre-series article. And one of their X factors, whatever it was, I'm just going to read it for you. When the Hurricanes have made their recent postseason exits, in the second round 3 times in the last 5, in the conference final the other 2, it's been largely attributable to 2 factors: injuries and a lack of ultra-elite talent at the top of the lineup. Carolina fans are sick of hearing it. We're sick of writing it, but neither makes it any less true. And then there's some other stuff there. The second factor, whether they have true star power and whether they need it. The star power thing is a funny one for me, because it's very easily retroactively changed, right? Because you go back and you look at rosters of teams that have won, and this isn't just a hockey thing, but we're talking hockey now, where you go back and look at championship rosters from the past, and you go, oh, they had a star, oh, they had 2 stars, oh, they had 3 stars, oh, they had 2 stars, and you're like, everyone wins with a star. And I always want to go, well, did the star make the ring, or did the ring make the star? Right? Like looking back, they're stars, but were they that before they won the championship? Or did, when you win a championship, do we create a star out of somebody on your roster? Because it's not fun to talk about like the 04 Pistons, which is, I don't know, they're like the only team that pops into my head as like there's nobody that deserves, and even that you turned them into like, I don't know, 3 or 4 Hall of Famers on that roster. I think the Canes have players that are capable of being treated like stars, but they're not going to be treated like stars. They're not going to be given that title. They're not going to be given that tier. They won't be put in that group until they get a ring. And part of it is because they don't have super, super gaudy back of the trading card statistics, right? They don't have 50 goals. They don't have 110 points. They don't have like a 90-point defenseman season. They don't have that kind of stuff. And without that, you kind of need the cup for everybody to agree that the other things you do are important. I saw a list of top 30 defensemen. Slavin wasn't on it. He was on the just missed the cut list. And I'm going like, oh, come on. I'm not going down this path again. I'm not going to go argue this again. And I'm getting to the point with all of them where it's like, I'm not going to go to bat for name your player, Aho, Jarvis, Slavin. I'm just not going to do it until they win the cup, because then I don't even think I'm going to have to. As soon as they win a cup, 2 or 3 of them are going to be given star status. And because then you look at the resume that they've had over the last 8 years, and you refuse to believe that you can have all of that success and a cup and not have any stars on the roster. So you just make one up and you go, that one, even though they're really no different of a player that they were before and after. And perhaps that's fair. Like, I'm not even going to argue it's not, because perhaps, to be a star, you have to achieve the biggest goals. Maybe. I will say there are a bunch of pretty darn solidified stars that also don't have cups. But I think it's something that is just a stigma, and it's not as much real right now. So I hope the players that I would like to consider stars go out and have a couple of games where they play the part on their way to winning the Eastern Conference Finals and hopefully more. And that way, these types of conversations can go away, and we can get back to kind of, the quote-unquote real hockey stuff, rather than all this improvable or unprovable barbs that are thrown at the Canes. That's what I'm looking for. And yes, I do like that they also acknowledged injuries have upended them a few times as well, because you never want to say that about yourself, right? You never want to go like, well, injuries. It sounds like you're making excuses. But when somebody else says it, you're allowed to like just nod your head and go, no, thank you for acknowledging. They've dealt with some of that as well. Dennis, do you think they're missing a star?
No, I don't think so.
If you had to name the star, like who do you think they win a cup and all of a sudden, the podcasts and the YouTubes, they now know, like, all right, we're going to talk about them. Who are they putting on the graphic? Who do they turn into the star?
Two guys really popping in my head. It's Seth Jarvis and Sebastian Aho. Those are the two guys that
Which
popped
would be
in my head.
Really interesting if Aho doesn't break out of his lack of point production. Still does a lot of things well. Don't get me wrong. I'm a big Aho fan. I hope everyone knows that by now. But I don't think they would do that. If you were to do it right now, it would probably be Stankoven.
It could be.
Maybe Taylor Hall.
Jackson Blake could be like the emerging budding star.
There's some of that as well.
Which I'm on record saying he'll be on the Olympic team in 2030. I'm campaigning that right now for Team USA.
I mean, if you ask right now, you might get some people going, well, yeah, the way he's playing, absolutely. Coming off a 2-goal, including the overtime game winner to send his team to the Eastern Conference Finals. He's got something going for him. The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan. That was number one. Of course it was. Canes tomorrow. In the meantime, we need some numbers game contestants. We've covered the gamut of sports today. I'm glad because tomorrow is going to be a lot of hockey. So we had a basketball coach, a lacrosse coach. We're going to give away some soccer tickets here. We're covering everything we need to cover. So tomorrow can be Canes. Right now, call 919-860-5326 for your chance to compete in the numbers game and potentially win a pair of tickets to Session 6 of the soccer tournament at WakeMed Soccer Park on May 30th. And we also talked a lot of baseball, the ACC baseball. We're covering them all. Again, if you want to play the numbers game and maybe win the tickets to the soccer tournament, call in now, 919-860-5326. That's 919-860-5326. We need 2 contestants. Numbers game next.
The Adam Gold Show.
Until we pay Bryce Young, I need to see him actually be the reason why Carolina wins multiple games. It's not that he can be a quarterback that allows you to win. I need him to be the reason you do win. And that means maybe multiple games with 200 or more passing yards or 300 or more passing yards. When we get to that point, then you can pay him top quarterback money.
The Adam Gold Show, weekdays starting at noon on 99.9 The Fan.
Life's great stories are built on yes and. Yes to the big game and the private suite. Yes to the beach and sailing offshore. Yes to traveling the country and exploring new ones. With the new Millionaire for Life from the North Carolina Education Lottery, you can say yes to $1 million now and every year for a lifetime. Millionaire for Life. Winning is just the beginning. Drawing 7 days a week. Must be 18 to play. Approximate overall odds of winning are 1 in 8.47. Problem gambling helpline 877-718-5543.
Adam Gold in studio with my friend Patrick Day from the Aluminum Company of North Carolina. A lot of people have work to do on their homes. They need a roof. They want windows, siding. You guys do everything. But people are also, I'm not sure I can afford it. The Aluminum Company is a great place to go. Tell us why.
Well, tons of times I'll go out to people's houses and they're thinking about doing a bunch of home improvements at once. Siding, roofing, windows are a big package, right? And the first thing they think of is, well, I'm going to need to go get an equity line or a second mortgage. One of the things we have is tons of financing options where you don't even need to go to your bank. We can do that in-house for you and run payment options for you. And lots of times the financing that we offer is a better percentage rating than you can get from your bank, and you don't have to go through all that mess to get to it.
I like that. Also, is there 12 months, 0 interest?
12 months, 0 interest, 0 payments for 12 months.
0 payments and 0 interest at the same time for 12 months.
That is correct.
That is a double header right there. Aluminum Company of North Carolina, online, aluminumcompany.com.
Lunch was great, but this traffic is awful.
Can we stop at a bathroom?
Are you all right?
I keep having stomach issues after eating, like diarrhea, gas and bloating, abdominal pain, and sometimes oily stools.
Sound familiar? Those stomach issues may actually be a pancreas issue called exocrine pancreatic insufficiency, or EPI. Creon pancrelipase may help manage EPI. Creon is a prescription medicine used to treat people who can't digest food normally because their pancreas doesn't make enough enzymes.
Creon may increase your chance of fibrosing colonopathy, a rare bowel disorder. Tell your doctor if you have a history of intestinal blockage or scarring or thickening of your bowel wall, if you are allergic to pork, or if you have gout, kidney problems, or worsening of painful swollen joints. Call your doctor if you have any unusual or severe gastrointestinal symptoms or allergic reactions. Take Creon as directed by your doctor and always with food. Do not chew capsules as this may cause mouth irritation. Other side effects may include blood sugar changes, gas, dizziness, sore throat, and cough. These are not all the side effects of Creon. Call 800-633-9110 or visit creoninfo.com to learn more. That's CREONinfo.com.
I'm asking my doctor about EPI and if Creon could help.
The Drive with Tim Donnelly here on 99.9 The Fan. It is time to play the numbers game. We have Tracy in Raleigh and Thor in Raleigh getting ready to battle it out with jersey number trivia. And the winner will take home a pair of tickets to Session 6 of the soccer tournament at Wake Med Soccer Park on May 30th. But first, we have to bring them each onto the show individually. We will ask them the same question. Dennis will pick his favorite answer, and that person will get to go first. Tracy, we'll start with you. Tracy, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can.
All right, perfect. The question for today is, we're giving a pair of tickets to the winner to go to the soccer tournament. If you had to take a sports famous person, right? Could be a player, coach, somebody who is famous, not like, your buddy from your men's league basketball team. If you had to pick someone famous from sports to take with you to watch a day of soccer, who are you taking?
I'll take Larry Bird.
All right, Larry Bird. Dennis, any follow-ups?
No questions.
All right. The eighth lead in Space Jam. Let's go to Thor. Thor in Raleigh. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Perfect. Same question to you. The prize for today is a pair of tickets to the soccer tournament. We are looking for a famous person in sports that you think would be a great time to bring with you to the tourney. Not like a local friend that you play sports with. We're talking a famous sports somebody. Who would you bring?
I'm going to go with Stormy. We're going to see what kind of fun we can get into.
All right, Stormy. Not down the middle there. You kind of painted the edges, but I like it. I'll accept the answer. Dennis, are you rolling with Tracy, who said he's taking Larry Bird, or Thor, who said he's bringing Stormy?
Well, if you're there with Stormy, guess what? You're now an accessory to the fact. You're an attraction now. Because guess what? Everyone's like, yo, Stormy's here?
And
I want pictures.
You can't put like a hat and sunglasses on Stormy and have everybody go like, oh, it's just a tall guy walking by.
No.
That's Thor. Thor went with Stormy.
I'll go Stormy on this one. It's very unique. It's a very unique pull here. I'll go Stormy.
Outside the box. He said, I wonder what we could get into, is what he said.
Exactly. Exactly.
Hey, hijinks.
If you're hey, I'm with him, and Stormy's like, he's with me, you can get to a lot of places.
Yeah, I'm sure Larry Bird's not having a hard time getting on the sidelines either, though.
Maybe. But Stormy's people like, hey, there's Stormy.
Yeah, I'm with it. I'm fine with either answer, but Dennis picked Thor's answer, Stormy. So Thor will go first. Tracy, you will go second. Just have to wait on hold, so we'll talk to you in a couple minutes. Thor, are you ready to pick a category?
Yes.
All right. The categories are NFL, Panthers only. MLB, batting champion since 2001. NBA, played in the 2026 playoffs. Or NHL, Hurricanes only. Those are your options. Which one you rolling with?
Let's go NHL.
All right, these are Hurricanes only. I will give you the team and the player. Give me the jersey number as quickly as you can. 30 seconds on the clock. One pass if you need it. Did that badoom mean?
Oh, no, he disconnected.
Dennis, you're the judge. What do we do in this situation?
Thor, call back. You disconnected. Call back.
Do we go to Tracy while we wait for
Thor? We go to Tracy.
Okay.
Now, Tracy now becomes first contestant here.
Okay. Tracy, can you hear me?
Yep.
All right.
I can.
While we try to reconnect with Thor, you get to jump in here, all right? Are you ready to pick a category?
Yep.
All right, the categories are NFL, Panthers only. MLB, batting champion since 2001. NBA, played in the 2026 playoffs. Do I give him the option to go Canes here, Dennis?
Yes,
Okay,
he's going
the
first. So
And then
yes.
your final category is Hurricanes only NHL.
Let's go MLB.
All right. MLB, batting champion since 2001. I will give you the team and the player. Give me the jersey number as quickly as you can. 30 seconds on the clock. One pass if you need it. And do you have any questions?
No, I'll try my best.
All right. That's all we can ask. Your time will start when you hear the horn. Christian Yelich, Milwaukee Brewers.
13.
Incorrect. Barry Bonds, San Francisco Giants.
7.
Incorrect. Christian Yelich, Milwaukee Brewers.
15.
Incorrect. Barry Bonds, San Francisco Giants.
Oh, my. 11.
Incorrect. Christian Yelich, Milwaukee Brewers.
9.
Incorrect. It was just in the future. You had the pass if you needed it, which it sounded like you did. Yelich, we were looking for 22. Barry Bonds, 25. Those were the two we were looking for. But you are still alive because whoever goes first wins ties. So 0-0, you would still be the winner. Stay on the line and we'll see if it holds up. And Dennis just picked up the phone. I'm wondering if that isn't Thor. If Thor doesn't get here quickly, Tracy might win by default, which I don't know if that's ever happened, but it definitely doesn't happen often. Dennis is doing a lot of talking there. Give you the play-by-play.
No,
we don't have Thor.
We don't.
Do we give him like a going once, going twice?
Yeah. Well, you know what? I'm going to put 30 seconds on the clock
All
here,
right.
Thor. You got 30 seconds to call in.
There we go.
Yeah, there it is.
30 seconds.
Call in,
if,
Thor.
If Thor calls in, I mean, he was into it. Stormy is an answer you give when you're like in a good mood. You're ready to play. That's not. I hope it's not like a completely out of his power. The phone broke down or something. Maybe he lost a charge. We've got him. He's on the line. Thor. He was flirting with disaster. But we now have Thor on the line, as that's what I'm being told.
He beat the 30 seconds.
All right, Thor, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
All right, we're going to give this another try. You picked Hurricanes only. Is that still the category you want?
Yeah, if it's available.
All right, it still is. I'll give you the team and the player. Give me the jersey number as quickly as you can. 30 seconds on the clock. One pass if you need it. I will say the team in this category, even though we know it, just to keep it fair timing-wise with the other categories. And you only need one for the win. Do you have any questions before we get started?
No, let's do it.
All right, we're going to do it. Your time will start when you hear the horn.
All right.
Nikolai Ehlers, Carolina Hurricanes.
8.
Incorrect. Justin Williams, Carolina Hurricanes.
26.
Incorrect. Nikolai Ehlers, Carolina Hurricanes.
18.
Incorrect. Justin Williams, Carolina Hurricanes.
18.
Incorrect. Nikolai Ehlers, Carolina Hurricanes.
9.
Incorrect. Justin Williams, Carolina. Thor, we worked so hard to get you on the back on the air.
I know.
That is a double offer. For Nikolai Ehlers, we were looking for 27. You felt like you were close, but you weren't. Justin Williams, number 11 or 14, we would have accepted. You know what? I'm glad we got you back on. Hopefully you had some fun.
Oh, no, I always enjoy embarrassing myself.
All right. Hey, you know what? And you're a good sport about it. So thanks, Thor. But that means Tracy is the winner. Tracy, that is a real come from behind out of nowhere win, but you are the win.
Oh, so funny.
You have a pair of tickets to Session 6 of the soccer tournament at Wake Med Soccer Park on May 30th. Congrats, I guess.
Oh, thank you. I'll take it.
There you go. Stay on the line, and Dennis will grab the info he needs to make sure you get your prize.
That might be the best double offer we've ever had.
You know, like a movie that's so bad it's kind of funny. It's like it's good because it's so bad. I feel like that's the numbers game we just had. That was we didn't look good as a unit. We were a little off. We got 0 correct. Nobody used their pass. Like it was bad all across, so I kind of enjoyed myself. It was bad all the way across, so it was amusing to me.
It's just you pick Canes.
You pick Stormy as the person you're going to bring. You pick Canes. You get Nikolai Ehlers and Justin Williams. We didn't give you, Scott Morrow. We weren't diving deep into our bag of tricks here.
It's like you get a current player.
A current player who's like a big name.
Yeah, and then you get one of the most famous Canes of all time.
Yep.
Who had 2 numbers you could choose from with Justin Williams.
But
11 and 14.
At least he said he enjoys embarrassing himself. He was a good,
you know
he was a good sport about it.
I do respect that.
He was a good sport
I
about
do
it.
respect that.
And he worked to get back on air. He called back in time, gave us a little
did.
adrenaline rush. So thank you to Thor. Tracy, the winner, though.
That was
The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan. Before we move on, Dennis, you have something you want to tell everybody?
I do. Dennis Cox here real quick for Loan Pronto. Folks, credit card interest rates, they're high. They're over 29% in a lot of cases, and most people are only making minimum payments, so they're getting nowhere. But here's what many homeowners don't realize. Using the equity in your home, you can easily access hundreds of thousands in cash. With Loan Pronto's Rapid Equity Loan, you can pay off your credit cards, your existing HELOC, your car loans, or get money for that home improvement project. One client just got $100,000 approved, and they saved over $1,500 a month. And here's the best part. With Loan Pronto, you can do it all from your phone with zero out-of-pocket, no hard credit pull up front, no appraisal, no long drawn-out bank process, and no touching your first mortgage. Rates are at near 3-year lows, so act now. Go to loanpronto.com, see how much you can get in about 60 seconds. Loan Pronto, 2,800 5-star Google reviews. Call 919-381-1760 or visit loanpronto.com. 919-381-1760, loanpronto.com. Equal housing lender, NMLS 166171, NMLSconsumeraccess.org.
The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan. We have audio from Carolina Hurricanes coaches and players coming up next.
Can't get enough of the Carolina Hurricanes? Check out my podcast, Iced Tea, hosted by me, Megan LaMontagne, as I take you behind the scenes and get exclusive stories about the team. This season, I've interviewed Seth Jarvis's brother, Caden, who talks about a young Jarvie growing up, longtime PA announcer Wade Minter, who spills the tea on how a mess-up made national news, and legendary color commentator Trip Tracy, just to name a few of the guests. Listen wherever you get your podcasts or watch on YouTube.
You hear that? That's the sound of Pepsi Zero Sugar, the better tasting, more refreshing Zero Sugar Cola. Listen to that endless pour. If it sounds this good, just imagine how it tastes. So good. Pepsi Zero Sugar. Let your taste decide.
Stop by Handy Hugo's for great deals on your favorite Pepsi products. Head to Handy Hugo's today.
Accidents happen, and they can happen at any age. That's why Chapel Hill Family and Cosmetic Dentistry provides complete everyday dental care for your entire family, from the littlest athlete to adults ready for a healthier, more confident smile.
Oh, nice.
Dr. James Ferguson and his team are here for everything from routine care and cleanings to advanced treatments, so everyone can enjoy a strong, healthy smile. Schedule your visit today at chapelhilldds.com.
With Bet365 Early Payout, you win even if they lose. Get paid out instantly when your team goes up big, even if they blow the lead later. Bet365. Winning is everything. Gambling problem? Call 1-877-718-5543 or visit morethanagame.nc.gov. 21 plus only. Must be physically located in North Carolina.
The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan. Don't forget, everybody, we want to send you and a friend to Game 2 of the Eastern Conference Finals. But you got to do just one small thing for us. You have to text CHAMP, C-H-A-M-P, to 919-860-5326. This is the last hour. This is your last chance to enter yourself into the running, into the pool. Somebody will be selected, I believe, tomorrow, and that person will win a pair of tickets to Game 2 of the Eastern Conference Finals in Raleigh. We're talking Canes, Montreal. We're talking some of the best hockey around. We're talking electric atmosphere, and you could be there. But you got to text CHAMP, C-H-A-M-P, to 919-860-5326, in the next 15 minutes. At 6 o'clock, this keyword, dunzo. At 6 o'clock, this keyword completely expired, and there's no more keywords to come. And we can't change that. Once you put it into the machine, they don't let you change it. So text CHAMP to 919-860-5326. Gosh, just do it. There you go. That's I was going to make a big plea about how awesome it is. Just do it. Text CHAMP to 919-860-5326. Now I want to play some audio for you. Here on the drive, we have audio from players and Rod Brindamore as they get ready for tomorrow's Eastern Conference Finals game. Let's first hear from Jordan Martinook, who I affectionately call the heart and soul of the Carolina Hurricanes. He talked about being able to focus on one team and kind of the difference this team had once they knew their opponent in the Eastern Conference Finals. Here's Martinook. Can we get the Martinook audio there, Dennis? He's still helping out the winner, the prize winner on the phone. So he's doing two things for us here. And in a moment or two, we will hear from Jordan Martinook.
The Martinook
on being able to focus on one team. There you go.
I feel like we're watching video of ourselves for 4 or 5 days, maybe it feels like 10 days. So we were feeling pretty good about ourselves there, and now it's focusing in on what they do, what we're going to need to do to be successful against them. And I think for the most part, everybody's watching the games, and we've got nothing else to do. So we're watching. We're pretty in tune with what they got going on.
I think we may have underestimated just how bored they were the last couple of weeks, because they really can't do much. Yeah, bored. Like you could tell in some of their voices. Let's go to Jacob Slavin up next. Jacob Slavin on the series ahead and obviously how tough it could be.
They're a good hockey club. They didn't get this far for not playing a hard game. And again, you watch the way they play, you watch the way we play. It's very similar. It's going to be a tight series all around. And so we just have to continue to stick to our game, stick to what we do best, and just have confidence in our group.
Listen, for Jacob Slavin, it could be a very, very tough series. Not because he's not up for the challenge, but just because so much of what Montreal does, Jacob Slavin's job is to stop that, right? They're good on the power play. Well, what does Jacob Slavin do? Their scorers break out and get pretty good opportunities, although not a ton of them. How many times have we seen 2-on-1 rushes? How many times have we seen Jacob Slavin be back there seemingly in all kinds of trouble, and he escapes like Houdini and comes away with the puck? Jacob Slavin, he's going to have to be Jacob Slavin, right? Which, by the way, people forget. Heck, even I forget because, the second round seems like it was a long time ago, let alone the first half of the year. He missed about half a season of hockey.
Played 42 games, I think.
And including, like, he ended up getting some Olympic run and everything. But I would say he didn't start looking like real, true top-end Jacob Slavin until maybe a little bit before the playoffs. But really the playoffs is where you're watching it going like, there he is. There's the 74 I know. He's going to be a big part of this upcoming series. Let's hear from Sebastian Aho. Sebastian Aho, we're rifling through some audio for you now. He was asked, what are the combos like with his line, and obviously his line being Aho, Jarvis, Svech, on how they need to get better and the whole convo. Here's Aho.
It's honestly throughout every day. Obviously, you come in, you watch video, you talk about it, you have a good game, bad game. It doesn't matter. You just, move forward. You always try to find that little edge, and no different here. And like I said, it's definitely, I don't review it this time of year. Is it my line or our line, whatever. It's us as a team, and if we win, it's a job well done. So that's all I care really.
It's you think you were going to get any other answer from a Carolina Hurricane? They've won all 8 postseason games they've played in. There's not going to be complaining from or being too down or anything from any of them. They're winning games. And by the way, the Aho line does continue to draw really, really difficult defensive assignments. And I don't believe that's going to change, right? Aho's going to be out there. Dennis, you brought it up earlier. him and Nick Suzuki are going to get real familiar. And that's kind of what you want, because that's one of Aho's strengths is two-way hockey. So there's a lot of ways they could improve, but if they stay as cold scoring as they have been and they keep winning at the rate that they keep winning, Aho's going to have nothing but a smile on his face. Here's an interesting question here. Let's go to the next Aho clip. So many people are worried about maybe starting slow coming out of the break, right? Maybe needing to play yourself up into playoff vibes. Aho was asked, how do you make sure you're not too amped up after a long layoff where maybe the whole time you've been anticipating and just building energy? Here's Sebastian Aho's response.
I guess you're going to be amped up either way. It's playoff hockey, right? So, no, I think we're learned something. We had something similar in between round 1 and 2. Obviously, it wasn't quite as long, but still a break. So, yeah, I think we've been doing all the right things here, staying sharp physically, and had the bit of a mental break first few days, but kind of ramped up back up again these last little stretch, and we'll be ready tomorrow.
Also, and we've talked about it a bunch, but a lot of Carolina Hurricanes are relatively new or brand new fathers. So a little 2-week break, they got to get some family time in, which I'm sure refreshes the energy a little bit more than just a traditional break. Let's go to Jalen Chatfield next as we continue to take our trip around basically the Carolina Hurricanes locker room ahead of tomorrow's Eastern Conference Finals Game 1. Defenseman Jalen Chatfield on Montreal feeling like they can compete consistently with the Canes.
Anybody can be beat in the league, right? Going back on those games, I thought we competed really well. It was tight. I mean, they can win 3 games throughout the year. When it's playoffs, it's a different game. It's a series, it's a grind, it's every other day, right? So I think it's a different matchup right now. But they're a good team, right? And we respect them for that, and we know we have to bring our best.
I mean, it's the conference finals. You're going to have to beat good teams in the postseason. You're going to have to beat good teams in the conference finals. And if you are fortunate enough to do so, you're going to have to beat really good teams in the Stanley Cup final. Like, that's just the way it works. That's why the playoffs are so difficult. That's why we talk about marathons and not sprints. That's why we talk about the Canes have won 8 games in a postseason. 3 times, at least 8 games, 3 times, including this year in the last, 6 years? 4 years? I'm bad at math. It's been done. It's the next 8 that are the really, really, really challenging ones. So anybody can beat anybody in the NHL, you're darn right. But anybody that makes a conference final can even more darn right beat anybody in the NHL. Like, you're talking about really good teams here, and Montreal is no different. Let's work in some Rod Brindamore audio here. Rod, let's go to the recent regular season success by Montreal, and if that translates to the postseason, obviously there's their own personal results this year between these two teams to take into account as well.
Certainly hope not. If that trend, we don't want that to continue. I don't think. Well, I think they're a better team. I think they've gotten better. So that's kind of the obvious question or answer. Like I said, I'm hoping that doesn't translate. I thought we actually played pretty well in those 3 games. We went back through them, and if you really break that down, their best player was unbelievable in those 3 games. So, or at least 2 of them. So that, you definitely learn a little bit from that. But I think just in general, their team has just gotten better, and that's obvious. They wouldn't be here if they weren't.
And they're going to continue to get better because they've got some young dudes, and that's what young dudes do. I think he answered that question exactly how you would want a coach to answer that question. You go back, you learn what you can, you watch those games, you scout those games, you see how they might attack you, and then you move on as quickly as you can, and you get ready for evaluating the team that you're going to play, which is a little bit different than the team you played even in mid to late March. And it's a lot of bit different than the team you played back right around New Year's. So I think you like scheme and everything you might want to go back and watch for, but there's maybe less of the nitty or less of the non-nitty-gritty stuff. Last one here. Rod Brindamore was asked if the layoff was almost like a mini training camp. That's a heck of a time for a mini training camp. Here's Rod Brindamore.
This time of year that's not what you want. You're talking training camp. First couple months is when you're pushing everything, and when you get to this point, if you still are teaching a lot, you wouldn't be still playing. So your guys they're in game mode, and so it was a challenge because stay sharp and yet knowing we were going to have so much time, you don't want to give them too much because it's a mental drain. The playoffs, as you guys know, covering it, it's just like every night you're like, holy mackerel. And so to get away from that is good, but you also don't want to get too far away from it because, you get out of the wheel, so to speak. So that's been the challenge. We've had 2 of those this playoff, so it's been kind of very interesting. Hopefully that the mental rest will pay off for us. I don't know how it's going to be physically. I mean, obviously, we've had some time to heal up, but at the pace, I'm not sure how that's going to translate, but we'll find out.
Earlier today in the Cup check-in, Johnny Lazarus said, first period of Game 1 is about as far as all of the rest versus rust conversation goes, and we'll see if that's the case. Kind of knock the rust off if you have it, wake up if you're too rested, and by the second period, you got to go play hockey, because if you take any longer than that, you start to have problems. The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan. We do have Overdrive coming up next, but you have 4 more minutes to text CHAMP to 919-860-5326. Text CHAMP, C-H-A-M-P, to 919-860-5326. Do it right now. 4 minutes left. Last chance to win Canes playoff tickets. Do it now. Right now, CHAMP, 919-860-5326. Overdrive up next. Game day tomorrow. We'll see you then.
Need more Stanley Cup chatter, Canes fans? Listen afternoons with Adam Gold in The Drive for our Cup check-in, served up by Carolina Ale House. We talk with hockey's best, past and present, bringing you the latest insight on the chase for Lord Stanley's Cup. It's the Cup check-in on 99.9 The Fan, served up by Carolina Ale House. Come to Carolina Ale House for the official Carolina Hurricanes viewing parties throughout the playoffs. Visit CarolinaAleHouse.com/Canes to see the schedule.
Embrace the haze with Hazy Little Thing from Sierra Nevada. If you've ever stayed for the 9th inning comeback, do you know how to time the beer run to still make it back in time for the stretch? If you're up for whatever the game brings, then embrace the haze with Hazy Little Thing. Hazy, citrusy, smooth, brewed with the purest ingredients for finest quality. There's a reason it's America's best-selling hazy IPA. Embrace the haze with Sierra Nevada. Hazy Little Thing. Enjoy responsibly.
The NBA playoffs are underway, and now you can trade every game on Kalshi. You can also trade on who wins each series, the conference finals, and the championship. San Antonio is currently trading at 19% to win it all, meaning a $100 trade pays out over $500 if they take the title. On Kalshi, you're trading against other people in a live market. No house, no odds makers. And as odds move, you can buy in or out anytime throughout the postseason. For a limited time, download the Kalshi app and use code SHOT to get $10 when you trade $10. Kalshi. Kalshi. Trade on anything.
Workdays can be unpredictable, but your workwear shouldn't be. With the Cintas Apparel Plus program, you'll have freshly laundered garments for everyone on your team delivered every week. Cintas has workwear for just about any job imaginable, with high-performance fabrics and an uncompromising fit that stretches and moves with you. Don't leave looking and feeling good to chance. Visit Cintas.com. And get ready for the workday.
Calling all Caniacs, come watch the playoffs at Carolina Ale House as the official Canes road game headquarters. Carolina Ale House is hosting viewing parties for the Hurricanes away games. Join us for indoor-outdoor viewing parties at our Cary location throughout the playoffs. Think of it as a hometown tailgate. You just bring a lawn chair, enjoy food and beers from the outdoor bar, and watch on our enormous TV. Visit CarolinaAleHouse.com/Canes to learn more, or keep an eye on our social media. Ale yeah, and go Canes!
Jake from State Farm. I just beat my running PR, so I'm celebrating with the Banana Bonanza smoothie.
Hey, and you can keep celebrating when you create an affordable price just for you by bundling your home and auto with the State Farm Personal Price Plan. Go bananas.
I will. Hey, make it a large.
Bundling, just another way to save with the Personal Price Plan. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
Prices are based on rating plans that vary by state. Coverage options are selected by the customer. Availability, amount of discounts and savings, and eligibility vary by state.
I'm attorney Brian Ritchie. Getting hurt in a car wreck comes with all kinds of stress and frustration. But when you call me, I'll be on top of all of it. So all you need to worry about is getting better. If you've been injured in a car wreck, I'm on top of it. Contact us at ritchielaw.com.
Broadcasting live from the Eagle Leasing Storage Studio. WCMC HD1 Holly Springs. 99.9 The Fan. The Triangle Sports Leader. It's 6 o'clock. Time to shift into overdrive. All highlights, no filler. As we run it back from the drive with Tim Donnelly.
And why would that game be so exciting? It's a home Eastern Conference Finals hockey game, and that doesn't happen often. Okay, I know for the Canes, they've been there too in the last handful of years, and you're back and you rolled here. This is still unbelievably high leverage, high intensity, high quality hockey that a ton of fan bases in the NHL would cut off pinkies just to have their team experience once.